Hello, hello. How y'all doing? I'm waiting on my audience. I'm waiting on the audience. Come on in. Push that like button. How y'all doing tonight? Y'all doing all right? Y'all doing okay? How y'all doing tonight? I asked you this question because I need some answers. How you doing? Push that like button. Show me some love. Come on in. Push that like button. Show me some love. How you doing tonight? Well, I started off asking, how you doing? I'm trying to, how do you say, get to know my audience a little bit. Try to get to know the people that I'm talking to or talking in front of. Because I got a lot of things that I want to talk about tonight, and I need some good people, some grown people to come in that can, engage intelligently. We're going to talk about a lot of things that people should be doing. Push that like button. Show me some love. Come on in. Come in with peace, respect. Come on in. Come on in. I'm waiting on my audience to come on in. I'm waiting on my audience to come on in. I'm waiting on my audience to come on in. All right, y'all know the rules. Come in, push the like button, have a seat, leave a comment, acknowledge yourself, ask a question. If it's intelligent enough, I will answer it. If you're not intelligent, if you're not an intellectual, then it's a lot of things that we're going to talk about in this video that you may not be able to comprehend. That means you will not be able to understand. To you, it might seem to be crazy. You know what I mean? But to the intelligent people, it's soul food. It's information that will feed your brain cells, that will help you figure out some of the problems that we have to deal with and solve in this America that we live in. If you are a real American, I need you to push the like button right now. If you are a real American, I need you to push the like button right now. We're going to start off with one of my favorite songs. I want to start off with this song because when we sing this song, we know together we're in unity. Would you like to be in unity with me? Would you like to be in harmony? Wow. I just noticed something. There's mold and fungus in this boat. Oh wow, I just noticed something. I almost just killed myself. No. What I need to do is know for a fact that bowl is clean. I just cleaned the shit out of it. I know it's clean. Push that like button. Show me some love. Come on in from up above. I'm a real Louisiana. Well, we know you ain't from Louisiana because you didn't say that you was a real Louisianian. You know, people from Louisiana, it's called Louisianians. And you ain't a Louisianians, then you ain't Louisianian. Like, you know what I mean? I'm from Mississippi, and they call us Mississippians. You know what I mean? If you from Alabama, they call you Alabamans. You know what I mean? If you from Georgia, what they call them? Georgians. Like, it's not that hard. I know where you're not from. You ain't from Louisiana. Because that ain't even the way they describe themselves in that bayou and that foot. You know what I'm saying? And that bayou. Push that like button. My name y'all know my name? How y'all doing? Come on in. Push that like button. I'm looking for a friend tonight. Somebody to talk to. Somebody that I can engage with on an intellectual conversation about a lot of things. Y'all ready? No? Okay, I want to get at least 12 people in my audience before I start the topic, the subject. I ask that you come in and push the like button, share this video, leave a comment. You know, when I got 6 likes and 6 people watching, then I know that I got a nice audience. You know, I ask that you just push the like button for now. If you want to take it back later, you can take it back later. But right now, I need you to push that like button. We 2 people away before the conversation starts tonight. And I ask that y'all, you know, support me. Support me like I support y'all. And I love y'all. I really love y'all. I love the people who engage with me. I love the people who support me. And that's genuine love. And you know, genuine love is hard to find. You know what I mean? You said I'm the best thing since a slice of bread. Push that like button. I love you too. Yeah. You said I'm just watching. Well, I asked you to push the like button because when you watch something like this, you watching the realest thing on YouTube. This is one of the realest reality shows on YouTube. And I'm one of the realest stand-up comedians in the game. One of. I'm not saying I'm the best. I'm not saying I'm the realest. I said one of. There's a lot of real niggas in the world. You can never be the best, but you can be one of. You can be one of. Like, don't get it twisted. You know, push that like button. Show me some love for being a one of. You know what a one of is? That's a hard motherfucker to, you know, to go through some shit and come out on the other end is hard as hell in life. I tell people that a lot of people understand what a lot of black men have to go through in a day-to-day life cycle. What it takes for us just to be able to stay copacetic, calm, cool, and collective. Be able to survive, strive, do things that's right. Pay attention, follow the law. We gotta follow the law. We got a whole bunch of stuff. We gotta work out, we gotta treat our, we gotta save our money. We gotta love our spouses. We gotta pay our tithes, pay our taxes. We gotta clean the yard. We gotta wash the car. Man, black men got a lot of stuff that we gotta fight every day. We gotta dodge the police. We gotta dodge other niggas. We go through so much that a lot of people don't even know.
Heartbreaking of all, proving that fame can destroy children in new and devastating ways that no law can prevent. Gary's path to stardom began with a medical condition that would define his entire life. Born with a congenital kidney disease, he underwent multiple surgeries and treatments that stunted his growth and required lifelong medical management. The same condition that made his life difficult also made him perfect for television. At age 10, he looked like he was 6, with the face of an angel and the comedic timing of a seasoned professional. Different Strokes made Gary one of the most recognizable faces in America. His catchphrase, "What you talking about, Willis?" became part of the cultural lexicon. He was earning $100,000 per episode at the height of the show's popularity, making him one of the highest paid child actors in television history. For 8 seasons, Gary was America's sweetheart, the tiny boy with the big personality who could deliver punchlines like a veteran comedian. But the money that should have secured Gary's future was disappearing as fast as he earned it. His parents had hired business managers who made investments that consistently lost money. Medical expenses from his ongoing kidney problems consumed enormous amounts. Legal fees from various disputes ate away at what remained. By the time Gary reached adulthood, most of his childhood earnings were gone. The end of Different Strokes in 1986 marked the beginning of Gary's adult nightmare. At 18, he looked like a child but was no longer cute enough for children's roles. His medical condition had left him just 4 feet 8 inches tall, making romantic leads impossible and limiting him to character parts that rarely materialized. The entertainment industry that had made him rich as a child had no use for him as an adult. Gary's attempts at comeback were increasingly desperate and degrading. He appeared on reality shows, did celebrity boxing matches, and took roles in low-budget films that exploited his Different Strokes fame rather than showcasing any actual talent. Each appearance reminded audiences of what he'd been rather than who he was trying to become. The medical expenses never stopped. Gary's kidney disease required constant treatment, including dialysis and eventually transplant surgery. The costs were enormous, and his dwindling finances couldn't keep up. He was forced to declare bankruptcy multiple times, each filing making headlines that focused on his financial troubles rather than his medical struggles. His relationships were complicated by his fame and physical limitations. Gary's size and appearance made normal romantic relationships difficult, and his trust had been shattered by family members and business partners who'd exploited it. He married twice, both relationships ending in acrimonious divorces that left him more isolated and financially depleted. The cruelest irony was that Gary remained famous enough to be constantly recognized, but not successful enough to capitalize on that recognition. People would approach him on the street expecting him to be the cheerful child they remembered from television, not understanding that Arnold Jackson had been a character, not a person. Gary felt trapped in a role he'd outgrown decades earlier. His later years were marked by increasingly erratic behavior and legal troubles. Arrests for disorderly conduct, assault charges, and public disputes with former wives and business partners painted a picture of a man at war with the world and himself. Each incident made headlines, turning Gary's private struggles into public entertainment once again. The end came suddenly on May 28, 2010. Gary suffered an intracranial hemorrhage at his Utah home and died 2 days later at age 42. Even his death became controversial, with disputes over his medical care and estate exposing the family dynamics that had shaped his troubled life. The boy who brought joy to millions died largely alone, estranged from family members who profited from his talent. At his funeral, former co-stars spoke about a man who'd been trapped by his own success, unable to escape the shadow of a character he'd created as a child. Todd Bridges, his Different Strokes brother, delivered a eulogy that was part tribute, part indictment of an industry that consumes its young. Gary never got to be a regular person, he said. He was Arnold Jackson until the day he died. The tragedy of Gary Coleman is that he lived long enough to see every promise of child stardom revealed as a lie. The money was gone, the fame had become a burden, and the joy he brought to others had never translated into happiness for himself. He died believing he was a failure, when in reality, he was a victim of circumstances beyond any child's ability to control. Gary's story stands as the ultimate indictment of child stardom in any era. Despite decades of supposed progress and legal protections, he was still exploited, still abandoned, still treated as a commodity rather than a human being. His death marked the end, not just of a life, but of any illusion that Hollywood had truly learned from its past mistakes. The boy who'd asked, "What you talking about, Willis?" spent his adult life asking a more painful question: what happened to my life? The answer, tragically, was that it had been stolen from him one episode at a time, $1 at a time, one lost opportunity at a time. Gary Coleman died as he'd lived since childhood, performing for others while dying inside, making people laugh while his own heart was breaking. These 20 stories represent more than individual tragedies. They're evidence of a system that was fundamentally broken, designed to exploit the most vulnerable people in the entertainment industry. The golden age of Hollywood wasn't golden for everyone. For too many children, it was a nightmare disguised as a dream. The saddest part isn't just that these young people died or suffered, it's that their pain was preventable. Every one of these tragedies could have been avoided with better protections, more oversight, and adults who put children's welfare ahead of profit. But the entertainment industry chose profit every time, leaving a trail of broken lives in its wake. Today we like to think things have changed, that we've learned from these tragedies. But every time a young performer struggles with addiction, every time a child star's parents squander their earnings, every time an adult takes advantage of a vulnerable teenager, we're reminded that
36. Celebrities who are still rotting in jail. Right now by 2025. From red carpets to prison jumpsuits, these are the stories Hollywood never wanted you to hear. Imagine your favorite actor, singer, or athlete once adored by millions now locked away, their fame crumbling inside a cold cell. These 36 celebrities are not just behind bars in 2025, they are rotting there. Their legacies stained forever. Some crimes will leave you speechless, others will make you furious. But all of them prove that no amount of money or fame can escape justice. Watch until the end, hit subscribe to Legends of Black Excellence, and prepare to be shocked beyond belief. Michael Jace. Michael Jace's name once carried the aura of reliability and authority. Fans of The Shield remember him vividly as LAPD officer Julian Lowe, a character marked by his calm demeanor, unwavering loyalty, and strong sense of justice. On screen, Jace projected stability, the very image of a protector of the law. But off-screen, hidden beneath that carefully constructed facade, lurked a darkness that would eventually end his career, his freedom, and his reputation. By 2025, his story stands as one of the most chilling examples of how fame and respectability cannot shield anyone from the weight of their own actions. On the evening of May 19, 2014, tragedy struck in Los Angeles. In the family's South Los Angeles home in front of their two young children, Michael Jace fatally shot his wife, April Jace. The murder was not only brutal, but public in its consequences. Neighbors heard the commotion, and the couple's sons bore witness to a devastating act that would scar them for life. When police arrived, Jace himself admitted to the crime, telling them directly that he had shot his wife. The confession removed any ambiguity, transforming a respected actor into a condemned criminal overnight. The trial was equally gripping and heartbreaking. Prosecutors described how Jace had harbored jealousy and anger, painting a portrait of a man whose private life contrasted sharply with his public persona. The court heard chilling testimony, including accounts from his own children, who were forced to relive the horror of seeing their mother's life taken before their eyes. In 2016, Michael Jace was convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to 40 years to life in prison. The severity of the sentence reflected both the crime's brutality and the deep betrayal of trust from a man once admired by millions. Now, in 2025, Jace remains behind bars with the possibility of parole still decades away. At age 63, he faces the likelihood of spending the rest of his natural life in prison, unlike other celebrities who might enjoy luxuries or leniency. Jace's incarceration is stark and unforgiving. Stripped of fame, money, and influence, he is now simply another inmate, his legacy permanently overshadowed by a single night of violence. What makes Jace's downfall particularly tragic is the duality it exposed: an actor praised for portraying integrity, yet privately consumed by rage and instability. Fans of The Shield continue to wrestle with this contradiction. Can one separate the art from the artist? Should the memory of a beloved character survive, or does it become forever tainted by the crimes of the man who played him? By being included in the list of 36 celebrities still rotting in jail as of 2025, Michael Jace serves as a grim reminder. His life arc from the fictional badge of a trusted officer to the very real confines of a prison cell underscores the reality that no one, regardless of status or talent, is immune from justice. His story is not just about a fall from grace. It is a cautionary tale about unchecked anger, domestic violence, and the devastating ripple effects of one irreversible decision. Suge Knight. Few figures in the history of hip-hop loom as large or as fearsome as Marion Suge Knight. In the 1990s, he was the co-founder and power broker of Death Row Records, the label that transformed rap into a dominant cultural force. Under his watch, Death Row released era-defining albums from Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, and Tupac Shakur. Knight was more than just a businessman. He was an enforcer, a street figure whose intimidating presence became as legendary as the music his label produced. But behind the multi-million-dollar empire lay volatility, violence, and a pattern of chaos that eventually led to his downfall. By 2025, Suge Knight is no longer the kingpin of West Coast rap, but rather one of the most infamous inmates in the California prison system. Knight's life began to spiral long before his final incarceration. Allegations of intimidation, assaults, and ties to gang violence surrounded him for decades. The most enduring cloud over his name remains the unsolved 1996 murder of Tupac Shakur, who was both his friend and his label's brightest star. Although Knight has never been charged in connection to Tupac's death, whispers of his involvement have followed him relentlessly, fueling documentaries and conspiracy theories. Still, it wasn't those suspicions that sealed his fate. It was a shocking act of violence in broad daylight, nearly 20 years later. In January 2015, Suge Knight's volatile world came crashing down when he was involved in a fatal hit-and-run outside a fast food restaurant in Compton, California. Surveillance footage later revealed the harrowing scene. Knight's truck barreled over two men during a confrontation, killing Terry Carter, a longtime friend, and injuring filmmaker Cleabone Sloan. Knight claimed he acted in self-defense, saying he was being ambushed and feared for his life. But the evidence combined with his history of aggression painted a different story in court. After years of delays, Knight struck a plea deal in 2018, accepting a sentence of 28 years in state prison, 22 years for voluntary manslaughter, and 6 more for violating California's 3 strikes law. At the time of sentencing, Knight was already in failing health, relying on medical care for diabetes and blood clots. By 2025, he is serving his time at Richard J. Donovan Correctional Facility in San Diego, with a projected release year of 2037. If he survives to see that day, he will be 72 years old. For the hip-hop community, Knight's fall is both tragic and symbolic. He embodied the raw, unfiltered power of West Coast rap at its peak, but also the unchecked violence that often lurked behind the music industry's glamorous surface. His story reveals the razor-thin line between influence and destruction. A mogul who once ruled the charts now spends his days confined to a cell, his empire dismantled, his legacy overshadowed by crime. By appearing in the list of 36 celebrities still rotting in jail in 2025, Suge Knight's presence carries weight. He is not just another celebrity felon, he is a cultural architect whose violent impulses ultimately consumed him. His saga is a stark reminder that no amount of fame, fortune, or fearsome reputation can shield a man from justice, and that even the mightiest can fall into the cold grip of prison walls. Corey Miller. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, Corey Miller, better known by his stage name C-Murder, stood as one of the defining voices of Southern hip-hop. As a member of the No Limit Records dynasty founded by his brother Master P. Miller, sold millions of albums scoring hits like Life or Death and True Dogs. His gritty lyrics, often chronicling the struggles of street life, resonated with fans who saw him as a raw and unfiltered storyteller. Yet by 2025, his career has long since been eclipsed by an unrelenting reality. Miller is serving a life sentence in Louisiana State Penitentiary, one of the harshest prisons in America. The crime that ended his freedom occurred on January 12, 2002 at the Platinum Club in Harvey, Louisiana. A confrontation broke out, and 16-year-old Steve Thomas, an aspiring rapper, was beaten and fatally shot. Witnesses pointed to Miller as the shooter. The case quickly gained national attention, not only because of the tragic loss of a young life, but also because a prominent rap star was standing accused. From the very beginning, controversy swirled around the investigation and trial. In 2003, Miller was convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to life without parole. That conviction was overturned in 2006 after it was revealed that prosecutors had withheld key evidence. But in 2009, he was retried, convicted once again, and sent back to Angola prison, where he remains today. His defense has consistently maintained his innocence, arguing that the case was built on shaky eyewitness testimony. In recent years, several witnesses even recanted, claiming they were pressured by authorities to identify Miller as the shooter. Despite these developments, appeals have repeatedly been denied, keeping the rapper behind bars. Support for Miller has not waned. His brother Master P has long fought for his release, citing injustices in the trial, while his ex-girlfriend Kim Kardashian joined criminal justice reform advocates in highlighting his case in 2020. They argue that systemic failures, coerced testimony, and racial bias contributed to his conviction. Yet, as of 2025, despite public campaigns and high-profile backing, C. Murder remains incarcerated, his legal avenues narrowing with each passing year. For fans, the tragedy lies not only in the crime, but in the devastating collision of talent and circumstance. Miller's career trajectory promised longevity. He had the charisma, the fan base, and the backing of a powerful label. But instead of growing into a hip-hop elder statesman, his story has become one of confinement, appeals, and uncertainty. His songs, once praised for authenticity, now serve as haunting echoes of a life derailed. Being included among the 36 celebrities still rotting in jail as of 2025, Corey Miller represents a cautionary tale about how quickly fame can dissolve into tragedy. His incarceration has sparked debates about justice, fairness, and the unforgiving nature of the legal system. For some, he is a convicted killer who must face the consequences of his actions. For others, he is a victim of a flawed process trapped in a system unwilling to admit mistakes. Either way, C. Murder's life is a stark reminder that behind every platinum plaque lies a human story, and sometimes that story ends not in glory, but in the silence of prison walls. R. Kelly. For decades, R. Kelly was revered as the undisputed king of R&B, with mega hits like I Believe I Can Fly, Ignition Remix, and Step in the Name of Love. He created anthems that defined weddings, graduations, and radio playlists across generations. His voice was soulful, his songwriting prolific, and his influence unmatched. Yet behind the chart-topping records and Grammys, there existed a hidden empire of abuse, manipulation, and criminal acts that shocked the world once exposed. By 2025, Kelly is not a music icon, but inmate number 096271104, serving a 30-year federal sentence for sex trafficking and racketeering. The allegations against Kelly had circulated since the 1990s, but his fame and legal maneuvering allowed him to avoid conviction for years. In 2002, he was indicted on child pornography charges, but acquitted in 2008. Many believed his wealth and star power shielded him from accountability. That illusion crumbled in the late 2010s as Courageous Survivors and the documentary series Surviving R. Kelly 2019 brought decades of abuse into the spotlight. In 2021, Kelly was convicted in a New York federal court of running a criminal enterprise that preyed on underage girls and young women. In 2022, he was further sentenced to 20 years in prison in a Chicago federal case, though 19 of those years were ordered to run concurrently. The practical outcome, Kelly will not be eligible for release until 2040, at the earliest, when he will be well into his 70s. As of 2025, he is housed in a federal prison in North Carolina, far removed from the glamorous stages he once commanded. For many fans, the betrayal is profound. How could a man who inspired millions with uplifting lyrics hide such predatory behavior? For survivors, His imprisonment represents long overdue justice. Kelly's downfall is a devastating reminder of how unchecked power and celebrity status can enable abuse to fester. His inclusion in the list of 36 celebrities still rotting in jail is perhaps the most notorious. Once hailed as a musical genius, R. Kelly now stands as a cautionary tale, a fallen star whose crimes permanently overshadowed his art, leaving his legacy in ruins. Dave Meggett. Dave Meggett was once a household name in American football. As a dynamic running back and return specialist, he played for the New York Giants, New England Patriots, and New York Jets. He earned a Super Bowl ring in 1991, made the Pro Bowl in 1989, and became known for his electrifying speed on the field. But by 2025, Meggett's story is no longer about highlight reels and championships. It is about prison walls. He is serving a 30-year sentence in South Carolina for criminal sexual conduct and burglary, his once promising life consumed by repeated patterns of violence. Meggett's troubles with the law began in the 1990s, with multiple arrests for assault and misconduct. Despite his football success, he developed a reputation for off-field instability. The defining fall came in 2009 when he was arrested for sexually assaulting a college student in Charleston, South Carolina. Prosecutors revealed this was not an isolated incident, but part of a disturbing pattern spanning years. In 2010, a jury found him guilty, and he was sentenced to 30 years in prison without the possibility of parole until serving at least 25 years. As of 2025, Meggett remains incarcerated at Lieber Correctional Institution, his earliest possible release date set for 2034, when he will be in his 70s. The contrast is haunting. Once cheered by thousands in NFL stadiums, he now lives in near anonymity, remembered more for his crimes than his athletic achievements. Meggett's presence on the 36 celebrities still rotting in jail list is emblematic of wasted potential. He had the talent, the fame, and the platform to build a lasting legacy in sports. Instead, his repeated choices off the field destroyed not only his career but also the lives of his victims. His downfall is a sobering lesson about how fame cannot conceal violence, and how justice eventually finds even those who once seemed untouchable. Darren Sharper. For years, Darren Sharper was celebrated as one of the NFL's most consistent and talented safeties. Drafted by the Green Bay Packers in 1997, he went on to play for the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints, earning 5 Pro Bowl selections and a Super Bowl ring in 2010. His on-field intelligence, leadership, and game-changing interceptions made him a fan favorite. Yet beneath the accolades lay a chilling reality. By 2025, Sharper is no longer remembered for football glory, but for being one of the most notorious convicted predators in sports history, serving a 20-year federal sentence that has permanently destroyed his reputation. Sharper's downfall began with a series of disturbing allegations in the early 2010s. Investigators discovered a pattern spanning multiple states. He had been drugging women and assaulting them while they were unconscious. By 2014, reports emerged from California, Arizona, Nevada, and Louisiana, each painting a consistent and horrifying picture. The scope was staggering. Dozens of women had accused him of exposing a predator who used his celebrity status to disarm suspicion. In 2016, Sharper pleaded guilty to federal charges of distributing drugs with intent to commit rape. In addition, he entered guilty pleas in multiple state cases, creating a complex web of overlapping convictions. Prosecutors revealed that Sharper routinely slipped sedatives such as Ambien and Valium into drinks, turning nights out into predatory traps. The revelations shocked not just sports fans, but the wider public, forcing a painful conversation about trust, celebrity privilege, and hidden abuse. The federal court handed down a 20-year prison sentence, while state sentences were...
Man, damn police sitting right here in front of my shit. In a minute, yeah. Yeah, you're going to move your car, bro. Yeah, you gotta move that shit. Fuck you mean? Am I about to leave? You gonna ask me? Am I gonna leave my own shit? Yeah, you gotta move that shit. Push that like button. Show me some love. You parking in front of my shit, asking me, am I about to leave? I don't want no police ass car sitting in front of my shit. I'm going over there to that restaurant. Where you at? Damn police car. Top flight security ass. Push that like button. Show me some love. I need somebody to talk to.
message for
How y'all doing? Push that like button. Push that like button. Show me some love. Oh, I'm getting hungry. You hungry? I'm getting hungry. It's 1:30. Push that like button. I told him to move that shit. He moved it right there and jumped out of it. Better than sitting in front of my shit.
Decade in federal prison for one of the largest frauds in U.S. history. The collapse of Theranos, whistleblowers and journalists revealed that the company's technology simply did not work. The much-hyped blood testing machine was a sham, producing inaccurate and dangerous results. The exposure, first reported by the Wall Street Journal in 2015, triggered investigations that uncovered years of deception. Investors, patients, and business partners had been misled on a massive scale. In 2022, Holmes was convicted on 4 counts of wire fraud and conspiracy for deceiving investors. She was sentenced to 11 years and 3 months, 135 months in prison. In May 2023, she reported to a federal facility in Bryan, Texas, leaving behind her 2 young children. The Bureau of Prisons lists her release date as August 2032, assuming standard credit for good behavior. Holmes's story is particularly chilling because it wasn't about sudden violence or reckless impulses, it was about calculated deception. She convinced powerful figures from Henry Kissinger to General James Mattis to back her company, and she risked the health of countless patients while building her empire on lies. As of 2025, Holmes remains incarcerated, a far cry from the black turtlenecks and staged charisma that once had the world fooled. She is included on the list of 36 celebrities still rotting in jail because her case highlights a different kind of crime, white-collar fraud on an epic scale. Unlike others whose violence destroyed individuals, her deceit undermined public trust in science and medicine itself. Holmes's legacy is now a cautionary tale about ambition without ethics. Once celebrated as a female tech pioneer, she is now a convicted felon, her name synonymous with Silicon Valley's greatest scam. By 2025, her prison sentence stands as a reminder that not all crimes spill blood, but the damage can be just as devastating. Mel Hall. In the 1980s and early 1990s, Mel Hall was a name baseball fans knew well. A powerful outfielder, he played for the Chicago Cubs, Cleveland Indians, New York Yankees, and later in Japan. Hall was known for his colorful personality, big bat, and unfiltered confidence. Teammates and fans often described him as charismatic, the kind of athlete who could light up a clubhouse. Yet behind the swagger, darker truths lurked. By 2025, Mel Hall is not remembered for his clutch hits, but for being a convicted predator serving a 45-year prison sentence in Texas. Hall's fall from grace began long after his retirement from Major League Baseball. Following his playing days, he turned to coaching youth sports, particularly basketball for girls' teams. It was in this environment that he preyed on minors using his status as a former professional athlete to manipulate and exploit. In 2009, Hall was convicted on 3 counts of aggravated sexual assault of a child and 2 counts of indecency with a child. Prosecutors presented harrowing testimony from victims who described how Hall groomed them, often presenting himself as a mentor before crossing into abuse. The youngest was just 12 years old when the abuse began. Evidence revealed that his predatory behavior stretched over many years, hidden in plain sight under the guise of being a respected coach. The judge sentenced Hall to 45 years in prison, a term so severe it all but guarantees he will spend the remainder of his life behind bars. At the time of sentencing, Hall was 48 years old. By 2025, he is in his early 60s, still confined with his earliest possible release date set for 2054, when he would be nearly 100 years old. For baseball, Hall's conviction was a sobering reminder that athletic glory offers no shield from accountability. His name, once tied to Yankee Stadium and Major League broadcasts, is now synonymous with betrayal and criminality. His inclusion in the 36 celebrities still rotting in jail list is a haunting testament to how some figures use fame and trust as a weapon against the vulnerable. Instead of a hero's legacy, Hall leaves behind a cautionary tale of wasted potential and unforgivable harm. Harvey Weinstein. Few Hollywood figures wielded as much power as Harvey Weinstein. For decades, he was the kingmaker behind Miramax and the Weinstein Company, producing Oscar-winning films like Shakespeare in Love, Pulp Fiction, Good Will Hunting, and The King's Speech. Stars and directors courted his favor knowing he had the clout to turn films into box office and awards juggernauts. But in 2017, his empire collapsed overnight when decades of sexual abuse and harassment allegations came to light, igniting the #MeToo movement. By 2025, Weinstein is no longer a feared mogul, but an inmate serving a combined 39-year prison sentence. The scope of Weinstein's abuse was staggering. Dozens of women ranging from aspiring actresses to Hollywood A-listers came forward with stories of coercion, harassment, and assault. The accusations painted a chilling portrait of a man who leveraged his power to exploit, intimidate, and silence. For years, his behavior was an open secret in Hollywood, but the industry looked away until the floodgates opened in 2017. Weinstein's first criminal trial took place in New York in 2020, where he was convicted of rape and sexual assault and sentenced to 23 years in prison. In 2022, 35. Most beautiful black R&B legends you'd never recognize today, then and now, 2026. They were once the faces of album covers, their voices, the soundtracks to our first heartbreaks, Saturday night parties, and Sunday morning healing. But if you saw them walking past you today, would you even recognize them? Time has rewritten their faces, but not their greatness. In a world obsessed with youth and surface beauty, these 35 black R&B legends have dared to age unapologetically, their transformations shocking to some, inspiring to others. From glittering stages to silent retirements, from glamorous icons to gracefully
Pay attention to this booking image. 3 angles, front, left profile, right profile, of a suspect who looks like he should be in a high school classroom. Look at his face. Look at how young he appears. The booking officer who processed him that night actually paused the procedure twice to ask whether a guardian had been notified. Now look closer. Look past the face. Look at the arms. The tattoos covering both shoulders and running down to his wrists aren't the impulsive ink of a teenager. They're years of deliberate layered artwork that takes time and money and a certain settled sense of permanence to accumulate. Look at the
Congressman
And we want to return to that story about a Haitian immigrant who is charged in a deadly attack of a Florida mother at a gas station in Fort Myers. CBS News correspondent Nicole Valdez is there with much more. Nicole.
Drika, President Donald Trump posted the graphic video to Truth Social, which we've blurred and paused just before a Fort Myers gas station clerk is attacked. The disturbing video apparently shows Robert Joaquin smashing the windows of a parked SUV at that gas station.
USC
60 votes, no warning, no radio contact, no identification. Just 60 Iranian.
heard many of your detractors state that you invested in private prisons. I'd like you to speak to that.
I did invest 22 years ago and sold it. It was a wake-up call. I felt like I was not going to be living my values the way I wanted to. Since then, I have been working for rehabilitative justice. My only point is this: there is a possibility for human beings to change, to realize when they're wrong and do the right thing. I decided I need to be proactively, aggressively doing the right thing. Thank you.
No. You invested in the prison. You still probably invested.
Welcome to TMZ Live. We had an unbelievable reaction to our interview yesterday with congressional candidate Dan Bilzerian, especially with remarks he made about the incumbent, Randy Fine, whom he called
come on in and push that like button.
And we got into it with him.
Push that
the
like
reaction
button.
We're getting online, and we're
show me something. Let me show you some love.
People commenting.
Show me some love.
Was not so much against
over 10,000.
Not so much against Bilzerian as me.
I think there were people who took umbrage with how you set up one particular argument with him. If you missed it, this is what happened.
When you say this fat Jew, you you could take another race and you could use another epithet, but you're anti-Semitic then.
I'm not. I have Jewish friends.
Oh, some of your best friends are Jewish?
All Jews with one brush, but he paints all Muslims with one brush, and it's accepted. And for some reason in this country, it is okay to just blast Muslims, bash them. You look at what Bill Maher said about Muslims. I mean, it's this double standard, and I don't like the double standard. And I look at him as a Jewish supremacist. He believes that Jews are better than other people, and he puts Israel before America. And
so if you've got a black friend that you don't like, do you use the N-word on him?
No, I don't.
Then what's the difference when you use the word fat Jew for a Jew you don't like?
Planning to publish your book,
a fat Jew is a fat Jew.
3 billion in one
He
reader.
described it.
If you've written a book and you're thinking about
His
publishing
body.
it, you have to watch this video. Hi, I'm Sarah from Spines, the fastest growing publishing platform in the United States. If you want to give your book the best shot at success, there are a few things you need to know. The world has opened up. Today's global book market spans multiple languages and formats, with international readers representing billions of potential customers. Smart authors are publishing in multiple languages and reaching readers all over the world. Most authors start with English, but there are 5 major languages and dozens of international distribution channels where your book can be available. At Spines, we expand your reach globally across 6 languages and versions, from soft covers to audiobooks in multiple markets. Using the most advanced translation technology and top-tier international professionals, all at an unbeatable price. Want to publish your book? Want to hear more details? Leave your info and we'll reach out with a phone call to share all of the information right away. Stay tuned.
My wife said, if you win, we'll fly to Asia. If I win, we'll fly to Paris. I bet you won't get toned with just Tai Chi walking before Christmas. Guess who won?
My dad can't lose weight with Tai Chi, so it's a scam?
Oh, no, he's probably just doing it wrong. Most men do Tai Chi wrong, and that's exactly why they can't lose weight. How old is your father?
He is 56.
Oh, perfect. By the end of November, you won't even recognize him.
But what if he hasn't worked out in years?
That's even better. Tai Chi was built for men 40 plus.
Isn't the gym better after 40?
The gym breaks you. Tai Chi will make you feel better and lose weight faster than in your 20s.
Does he need any equipment?
No, his body is enough. Just do it for 9 minutes a day and see your body feel younger.
So what's the first step?
Click the link, get the app, and start tomorrow.
What happens if my husband starts Tai Chi tomorrow morning and follows it for 28 days?
You won't believe his results by the end of the month. This is how Tai Chi workouts work.
But what if he hasn't worked out in years?
He can start small, that's
Tai Chi!
This program is designed.
Tai Chi.
Is Jew the same as because that is not that's not, one is a slur, right? And one is describing a religion. So you can't compare the two.
Well, apparently people agree with Dan.
Oh, I think what they agreed with, what they took umbrage with was that, and I know you're gonna say it's not a competition, but that saying fat Jew does not carry the same weight as the N-word, which, yes, it was shocking to hear Dan actually say the word. We had to bleep it. But in his defense, he was not hurling it at anyone. He was making he could have said N-word, it would have been fine. But that was the point. Yeah, that people feel that and they're not the same,
and you're right.
That phrase and the word.
You're right, and that's one of the problems I have with a lot of people. It ain't a competition, guys. The idea is prejudice, and it's simply showing that you can have prejudice with that framework, which is if you don't like somebody, you can use a derogatory term against the people as opposed to the person. And it has nothing to do with it's not about one is worse than the other. And that's what's happening in our society. Everybody thinks, oh no, your prejudice is worse than this prejudice. It's not about that. It's that it's not right on either case.
Harvey, yes, neither is right. I agree with you on that. The point that, and a lot of people are making this point, I agree with, is that one of those is a word that carries a weight that we all are aware of. Right? And the other is a phrase that
it's anti-Semitic. Well,
yes, it is anti-Semitic, okay, but it does not have a history.
And it does have a
history. By the way, one of them we have to bleep. The other phrase we don't have to bleep.
Well, by the way, that should tell you something right there. If it's taking a race or a religion or a sexual orientation and you are painting people with a brush that is, less than flattering, it becomes prejudice. And the point is, and I will say it again, it ain't a competition, and I stand by what I said.
Why do Jewish people
That
get
being
so
said,
upset
let's bring in
when people talk about Jewish
congressman
people?
who was the target of Dan Bilzerian's comment and is the man he will be running against in a primary. They're both running for the 6th congressional district in Florida. Randy Fine is right now the sitting congressman for that district, and he is joining us right now. Congressman, welcome to TMZ Live.
Thanks for having me.
I'm 61 and today I'm switching from walking to Tai Chi. I hope it helps my joints. This is me after 28 days of Tai Chi.
Damn.
And yesterday my neighbor asked what I did to my knees.
On Monday, April 13th, we're starting the Tai Chi program for beginners.
Tai Chi!
Build strength and lose stubborn belly fat
Tai
with just
Chi!
7 minutes a day. In 1 week,
Tai
you'll
Chi!
feel it. In 2 weeks, you'll
Tai
see it.
Chi!
By May,
We're
you'll
gonna
be
do
turning
Tai
heads.
Chi.
Start April 13th. You in?
We're gonna do Tai
This is
Chi.
day 1 of my sister practicing Tai Chi. This is day 28 of my sister practicing Tai Chi.
Oh, she's sexy.
On Monday, the 13th of April, we're launching a beginner
75 years old.
Kid, Matt Mahan's mentor was his dad, a union letter carrier who proudly provided a reliable, basic service. Lesson learned. Mahan is the only candidate for governor with a record of delivery. As San Jose mayor, he got results. A sharp drop in homelessness, the safest big city in America, thousands of new homes. As governor, Mahan will focus on the things Californians need most. If a mailman can deliver a reliable, basic service, the rest of our government can too.
Welcome to TMZ Live. We had an unbelievable reaction to our interview yesterday with congressional candidate Dan Bilzerian.
Your last chance to disappear until summer and come back unrecognizable. Start the chair Tai Chi flow for beginners.
Disappear for a month. On Monday, we're starting the Chair Tai Chi Challenge for men over 50. Just 7 minutes a day to boost your senior energy. Get your principal guide now.
Oh man,
Here's
I'm gonna
what
do that.
usually happens when a guy starts chair Tai Chi. After 7 days, he feels it. After 2 weeks, he notices changes in the mirror. And after 5 to 6 weeks, defenses. Everyone in his life is completely shocked by his transformation. If your goal is to just look strong,
The gym will do that. But if your goal is to actually be strong, balanced, centered, and support long-term health and longevity, that's chair Tai Chi.
Chair Tai
Stick
Chi.
with chair Tai Chi.
That means you get to
It's
work out
simple,
in the chair.
It works. And you don't need to be in shape to start. Guys over 220
Chair
can
Tai
start
Chi.
tomorrow and make progress
I'm finna
within
start
a
that.
couple of weeks. So I ask you,
Chair
what are you waiting for?
Tai Chi.
Click the link and join
Chair
us.
Tai Chi.
This is day 1 of my husband doing seated Tai Chi. This is day 28 of him doing seated Tai Chi. Look at this.
Seated
I
Tai
can't believe
Chi.
it. He lost 21 pounds.
My husband is 57 and weighs 264 pounds. His trainer says he needs to spend hours in a gym to lose weight.
How old is his trainer?
He's 26.
That's what I thought. Look, a 26-year-old has never dealt with bad knees or a metabolism that's slowed down over the years. He means well, but he doesn't understand what a 57-year-old body can handle.
So what should my husband do instead?
Seated Tai Chi.
Seated
He doesn't have to
Tai
pound
Chi.
his joints at the gym for hours. He can sit comfortably and still burn fat, boost his energy, and strengthen his body. All designed specifically for men over 50.
Okay, but how quickly will he actually see results?
Within 3 days, he'll feel the difference in his energy. By day 7, he'll notice his body responding differently. And by the end of the month, you'll be amazed at the transformation.
That sounds much better for him, and how does he get started?
The app walks him through everything step by step. He can start his first session tomorrow. Just click the link.
Chair Tai Chi.
A conversation with Dan Bilzerian, he brought up the fact that he called you an Islamophobe and said that you tweet about things all the time and you tweet things that are racist. And he asked us, is that okay? I said, no, it's not okay.
I agreed.
And
I agreed with you that
yes,
it's not
you
okay.
agreed that it's not okay. And I went and looked up some of the things that you've been quoted as saying, and I gotta say, Dan Bilzerian's right. I mean, unless you want to say these were incorrect, but we need more Islamophobia, not less. Fear of Islam is rational.
Mass expulsion. Muslim leaders are terrorists. Starve away. Advocating nuclear action.
Actually, I imagine that when President Trump said that there was going to be an entire civilization wiped out, based on this, I would say you were cheering that.
Well, look, I think you've taken a lot of different things and you've smushed them together. I don't know that you've provided the context for any of them. What I would say is this. Unlike Dan Bilzerian, I guess, who's talking about Jews as though they're all negative, I don't believe that all Muslims are bad. I think many are good. I think the difference is that also doesn't mean that I think that no Muslims are bad. And if you look at what's happened since the conflict with Iran began, 5 American Muslims in 4 states launched 4 separate terrorist attacks because they believed they were acting in accordance with their faith. When it's 1, it's 2, it's 3, you can sort of excuse it. But when it's been so many that we've seen over the past 25 years, some fear of this philosophy is a reasonable thing to have. And my issue is there are those who say because not every American Muslim is a terrorist, we're not allowed to say that any are a terrorist.
Well, no, so you're opening the door to someone like Dan Bilzerian saying that he's had a bad experience with 5 Jews, and so therefore all the Jews are bad. They're all fat Jews.
But I would clarify. I'm not saying all Muslims are bad. And by the way, I think it's saying all Jews are bad. By the way, every group has bad apples in it. That doesn't mean that the entire group is bad.
That's true, but I want to point to
every
something.
group is bad. There's no group that's perfect.
Okay, but I want to point to something, because this, to me, may be one of the most troublesome.
Said earlier this year.
Asked dogs or Muslims. You were asked about that, and you said if they force us to choose, the choice between dogs and Muslims is not a difficult one. How is that not painting an entire group? Because that's not the same as 4 or 5 people or a lot of people. That's saying Muslims are worse than dogs.
Want to create engaging promo videos but don't know where to start? Canva's drag and drop function makes it easy to use. plus the new layered timeline to make trimming and syncing clips, music, and more a breeze. Try it today.
Invalid, we promise a tenfold refund. This denture can be successfully worn in just 1 second and is suitable for everyone. Whether you have complete teeth, partial missing teeth, or no teeth at all, you don't need adhesives, dentists, or appointments. Just soak it in hot water to activate the elastic material, bite it to fit your unique oral shape, and within a few minutes, you can have brand new dentures. My friends all say they look very realistic, just like dental implants. It fundamentally solves the problem of missing or loose teeth, as well as various issues such as sensitivity and difficulty chewing. Remains saying, soft silicone is suitable for any oral condition. Very durable, it feels like a natural part of your mouth. It has obtained international standard certification, so there is no need to spend huge amounts of money in dental clinics anymore. It won't rub or slip, providing a safe and natural wearing experience, allowing you to enjoy food as you please. You can speak clearly and smile confidently. I've been wearing them every day for several months now, and they still feel like new. They look better than the dentures made for me by the dentist, and I installed them myself at home. Say goodbye to expensive orthodontic treatment and dental implants. This cosmetic denture can solve all your problems. You can enjoy delicious food freely without any restrictions. They perfectly fit any tooth shape, wearing them painlessly without discomfort, allowing you to express emotions naturally. Long-term wearing can gradually correct dental arch structure, coordinate tooth arrangement, and also help prevent snoring and relieve tension. Made of antibacterial silicone, it can be used for decades under normal conditions. Even if you don't clean it for a month, it won't turn yellow, discolor, or produce any odor. If you are not satisfied, you can apply for a refund at any time. No matter whether the food is sweet, sour, bitter, or spicy, it will not cause toothache and is suitable for all age groups. Now you can enjoy the lowest price made of antibacterial silicone. The first 80 customers can not only enjoy a 50% discount, but also enjoy a 15-day free trial period. If you don't like it, feel it's not suitable, or encounter any problems, you can apply for a refund at any time within 15 days.
That's not what it says, and again, I think you need to provide the context. I'll provide the context.
Okay.
One of Mayor Mondami's key advisors, Muslim advisors in New York, said dogs are not clean. They should be banned as indoor pets because Muslims coming to New York believe they violate their religion. Finally, Islam is coming to New York City. My point was a very clear one. If you're going to make me choose between my dog and people who want to come to this country and say for them to live here, we must ban dogs, the choice is an easy one. To get back to Bilzerian, I don't know how long we have, I would simply say this. You ask about him as an opponent. A guy who's a foreigner, he's a dual citizen, who has said Donald Trump is a pedophile rapist and should be impeached. That is not a serious candidate in a Republican primary where Donald Trump got over 90%. So he's not a serious candidate. We're not going to spend a lot of time worrying about him because he's running in a Republican primary. And frankly, Republicans love Donald Trump.
What's the problem with the dual citizen running for office?
It was odd that the first thing you said was that
dual
he's
citizen
an immigrant.
That's a great question. Most Americans don't believe dual citizens should be able to serve in Congress. If you're a citizen of another nation, where you've pledged an oath to that other country, how can you serve in Congress and live up to your obligation to serve the United States?
But
he
served in the U.S. military, so he took an oath to serve in the U.S. military, right?
My understanding is he's taken an oath to protect and defend another country. I just don't believe.
Should he have been in the military?
I mean, I don't have a problem with people who serve.
Well, if you don't have a problem with somebody risking their life for the sake of the country, why would you have a problem with a loyalty oath if they're fighting for their lives for the country?
I think you're conflating a couple
of things.
My point is very simple.
I'm not conflating anything.
If you are a citizen of a foreign nation, and by the way, I filed this bill 6 months ago, long before I'd ever heard of this guy. I don't believe that people who are citizens of another country should serve in
But I
Congress.
just
I
said,
think
but I
that's a
just
fairly
asked
mainstream
you,
view.
he was willing to risk his life and take an oath to support and defend our country. If he's willing to do that, you don't think that's enough? Because a lot of people who run, were you in the military? I'm just curious.
I was not. Let me finish. I've never taken an oath to support and defend another country and then asked to serve in Congress as a result. Look, I serve with lots of veterans. I'm in awe of the service that they give their country. This has nothing to do with military service, but I simply believe that people who've sworn an oath to put the interests of another country above America should not be in Congress. It's not about him. This is a bill that I filed 6 months ago. And by the way, it's something that's been overwhelmingly positive with the people that I serve. Americans generally do not believe people that are citizens of other countries should serve in the American government.
But they should serve in the military. Okay.
I mean, by the way, I know we're almost out of time, Congressman. I know you said you don't view him as a serious candidate, but if there is a groundswell of support for him, would you be willing, down the road, would there be a debate? Would you debate Dan Bilzerian?
You know, we're not going to do any campaign events until after qualifying, but I would be loath to be in any event with someone who's willing to use the N-word as freely as he was willing to do it with you. That's simply not language. It's my view that anyone who can use that word so easily probably uses it in their everyday language, and that's not a word that I believe has any place in the Republican Party, and I'm not interested in platforming.
I would agree with you on that word. I would disagree with you on a lot of things that you've said about other groups. So I guess we're at a stalemate.
Thank you for joining us, though. We appreciate it.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thanks again. Coming up. Well, this is a huge day for Diddy because there was a hearing in appellate court that could result in him getting out of prison very soon. His lawyers went into this appellate court and they made their argument. Be right back.
I'm 61 and today I'm switching from walking to Tai Chi. I hope it helps my joints. This is me after 28 days of Tai Chi.
Tai
And
Chi.
yesterday my neighbor asked what I did to my knees.
On Monday, April 13th, we're starting the Tai Chi program.
Well, this is a huge day for Diddy because there was a hearing in appellate court that could result in him getting out of prison very soon. And his lawyers went into this appellate court and they made their arguments. And these arguments, we've heard some of these, actually we've heard both of these arguments during the trial where they were trying to get a dismissal. The judge, the trial judge said, no, he's not going to dismiss the case. But it's different in appellate court.
Yeah, I mean, trial judges typically won't really honor something like that. They leave it to the appellate courts. Two arguments. One of them I find really interesting. And they are saying that Diddy was convicted of the Mann Act, which is basically taking somebody across state lines for the purpose of prostitution and sex. And it's been a law with a long history. And they're saying that it's just not applicable in this case because what Diddy was doing was he was doing a porn film. He was doing dress up in a hotel room with his girlfriend and another person that he brought in and paid.
And recording it so that he could play it back later for their enjoyment.
And that it was doing amateur porn. It was doing amateur porn like OnlyFans. And by the way, there are probably a lot of collabs on OnlyFans where people do cross state lines. And nobody thinks about that. Oh, of course there are.
But there's no prostitution.
Well, if they get money for it, they get money for OnlyFans.
They get money from their.
No, if somebody,
from their subscribers.
If one of the OnlyFans creators wants to bring a collaborator on to engage in sex,
sure,
they
and
pay
that person's
they
gonna
can
get paid.
pay that person. They've called that the person whose account it is can pay that person. It's what Diddy's lawyers are saying. It's the same thing, and it's protected by the First Amendment that you can have freedom of expression to record your own porn. Diddy didn't make any money. He actually lost money on it. He was never meant for distribution. It's just like OnlyFans, and they're saying, hey, just this Mann Act doesn't apply.
That's what I'm argument. The difference being, did the male prostitutes that were hired and flown to wherever to have the freak-offs, did they know that they were going for this to be filmed? Was that an arrangement that was made, or did they show up knowing they're gonna have sex, and Diddy decide he was gonna record it?
Let's say they, two things.
Let's say they didn't know.
Okay, let's say they didn't know.
Because we did hear testimony from one who said he didn't realize that it was gonna be recorded.
But if he sees the camera before they start, he has the option of saying not to.
So a second ago, you said something that is the distinction. I looked this up over the last couple of hours, and you said you were for the point that might be protected by the First Amendment. You said it wasn't for distribution. If it was for distribution, they have a much better argument that it was pornography. I'm sorry, that it was pornography. First Amendment protected pornography.
So you can't do it for your own enjoyment.
This argument is not new to the courts. People often will say when they're engaged in pornography, when they're engaged in prostitution, that it is no different than pornography. The courts have looked whether or not there is you are running a business. A business meaning filming sexual content for the purpose of distribution and consumption by others. In which case, it is First Amendment protected artistic expression. We can argue that all we want, but that's what the courts say. On the other hand, when it is not artistic expression, when it is not intended for distribution and consumption by others, it is not part of a regulated business. And also, pornography is highly, highly regulated. You must, no matter how old somebody is, accepted IDs, you must have.
Well, they don't do it on OnlyFans.
They don't.
They do not do that on OnlyFans.
That is correct.
So the horse is out of the barn.
Well,
look, I mean, the horse.
Hold on.
But hold on. I want to address something you just said.
Yeah.
So you can have. You're right. If you just have flat out, I'm bringing you across state lines, and we're going to have sex with so and so. Yeah, it's prostitution. It is probably is the Mann Act. What they're saying is that it was done to film, and that the film is the expression. So it's not just a sex act. They were doing a whole theatrical act with costumes and all these other things.
But not for distribution, because
not for distribution.
So they are artistic.
No, it is, because you can do something artistic for yourself and for your loved one.
You can't
So that's one of the arguments that was made. See how it goes.
By the way, I just want to touch on one thing. The OnlyFans thing, if you brought somebody across state lines and you did not get their identification to make sure they're not over 18,
yeah, that's another thing.
That would be a crime.
Right, but you know it's highly unregulated.
But it's still a crime. You could theoretically be prosecuted under the Mann Act for doing that unless you're part of a
If you're under 18.
No. You still have to go through the process, the regulated process.
They do not. I'm sure they do not.
I don't know how many people are bringing people across state lines or
because they
husbands and wives.
No. Let's
leave the boyfriend.
Hold on. And then two people who are both on OnlyFans who see each other's work saying, "Hey, come over and we'll collab. So come to Florida."
Right.
And so some guy from New York comes to Florida. They're not going to say, "Let me see your ID."
I really wonder how often that happens.
Let's get into the second thing.
So the second thing was about the sentence, and that the judge, in giving Diddy his 50-month sentence, took into account things that Diddy was acquitted of, like the sex trafficking. That the judge took those behaviors and that testimony from witnesses, including Cassie and Jane, took that into account when he sentenced him.
The evidence, the force, the coercion, the Cassie video, all of those things were used, not for the Mann Act, but they were used for sex trafficking and racketeering. And he was found not guilty on all those. So what they're saying is, you shouldn't look at that underlying evidence and use it as an exacerbating factor in giving him a 50-month sentence.
This seems like they have a better chance.
I find this, as a legal point of view, is a much more interesting argument. There are all these laws, these acquitted acts laws, that you are allowed to consider some acts for which you're acquitted, but you can't go too far. And it's wonder if the prosecution went too far, but basically restating the entirety of their claim during sentencing, and the judge seemed to take all of that into account in issuing the sentence in this case. So I think this is a more interesting.
So what the defense said was that the average sentence, the normal sentence is 15 months, not 50 months, and Diddy has already served 19 months. So what they're saying is that put this in line, and he's done his time.
Yeah,
and he would be out.
And the only reason the judge found these extenuating circumstances to enhance the time, based on the allegations of coercion, etc.
Right.
And maybe the defense is saying it shouldn't have been allowed in.
So they made their arguments.
It'll take a while for the appellate. How long do they? It depends. I mean, they could do a quick ex parte. They could just do a thing where they say release him because of the 15 months, or it could take months to get an opinion.
Hi, I'm Smooth from Riverside, California. So my basic premise is that we shouldn't free Diddy. We shouldn't free Diddy at all. First of all, he has been found guilty of 2 counts of the transportation for the Mann Act. He's been found twice guilty. With that, it carried up to a maximum of 10 years for individually by itself. So now he's at getting 50 months. I think that's a pretty good deal. He gets out in 2 years. All right? He gets out in 2 years. It's fine. They considered some of the other stuff, which is the abuse on video and all that, which is extenuating circumstances, and that's fine. I don't think that Diddy should be treated differently just because he has money, power, and influence.
See, that's the argument for the defense. He shouldn't be treated differently. Most people get 15, so he should get 15. So that's the problem with the argument, if you say he should be treated like everybody else. But we will see. I mean, we will see what these judges do.
Very interesting. Well, it has been a very tense week, right? You had the president saying that he was about to wipe an entire civilization off the map. His daughter seemed to be just living her life. Be right back.
She's done every freaking thing! Big celebs, big stores, big events! Baby Rexa was looking hot on vacation.
Look at the water. Did you just say look at the water? Yeah, I'll be honest, that is what I was looking at.
Watch what nuts do to our body. A walnut is really good for you. It's loaded with omega-3 fats or with fiber. Next to it, cashew. Cashew is not a...
Well, it has been a very tense week, right? You had the president saying that he was about to wipe an entire civilization off the map. We all remember that day on Tuesday where it just felt like, what is about to happen? What is about to happen? So while you were tense about that proclamation from the president, his daughter seemed to be just living her life. And these photos, we got these photos of Ivanka at Disneyland Paris. A video, actually, of her at Disneyland Paris with the kids having a good old time. I don't want to say...
I don't have a problem with this.
I actually don't.
I have no problem
because, and I said this morning, on Tuesday, while we all felt tense, we were all aware of what the president had said and what might unfold in a few hours. Yes, we were tense about it, but we went about our lives, right? Most people, nobody was curled up in bed and...
What is she supposed to do?
Right. Everyone went out and lived their lives, and you thought about it. Now, was Ivanka thinking about what her father had posted that day?
I think everybody
Of course she was.
I mean, but look, it's clear the kids are in spring break. She's not in Congress. That would be a whole other thing. But she's not a member of Congress. She's not part of the government.
Right.
And she's really
distances. Yes, she is very much
and her husband, who is working in the government, wasn't there as far as we know.
No, was not.
Okay,
wasn't seen there.
Right, people are getting bent out of shape about this.
This ain't the one.
People get bent out of shape about too many things.
Yeah, well, I don't understand what the expectation.
So you thought we were going to argue with you?
I'm with you. Look, I guess if you were here, let me try this. If you were going to make a case that Ivanka should have been doing something that wasn't going to Disney, you could say her husband is one of the 2 main negotiators with Iran. Right?
Okay.
It's
So
Sharon and
what's she supposed to do?
I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here.
I don't know what she's supposed to do.
It's ridiculous. It's
pack a lunch.
Right.
I mean, what is she supposed to do?
Like intervene, talk her dad off the leg. Like I don't. Come on.
And you know, this second time around, Ivanka has completely distanced herself from the administration. She's rarely at any of his events.
She's with her kids.
I would say the one thing I would argue with you guys on that I wasn't bent out of shape or no, that you wasn't freaking out on whatever the deadline was. You guys need to learn to take him seriously, but not
There we
literally.
go.
Okay, just
Seriously, not literally.
Don't start
Absorb it. I take not
literally. When do we not believe
because
him?
maybe he's not talking to us. Maybe with those things, he achieved exactly what he wanted to achieve. He gets his 2-week ceasefire here, and he can now work on a deal.
We're losing the war, guys.
We are not. How are we losing the war?
They still have enriched uranium.
We don't know. We don't know.
No, we do know.
Everything was fine.
We do know.
How do we know?
He even said we'll monitor it to see about dust. I mean, he literally said that. We have not destroyed their enriched uranium that could build 5 to 6 nuclear bombs.
Okay.
The Strait of Hormuz is now closed and open and closed,
Okay.
but
Right.
the
I know what's
Iranians,
going on.
but the Iranians are running it right now.
Okay.
And we've lost the support from all of our European allies.
Ooh, look at the time. Look at the time.
It's not even get to respond.
Hi, I'm Jackie from Chicago. And for us normies, the whole situation is giving major let them eat cake vibes, right? Because while an entire civilization's existence is being threatened by her daddy, she's in Paris at what? The Tower of Terror? And for what reason? To cosplay fear?
Because her kids are on spring break.
She could just tune into the news like the rest of us for free if she wants to be that scared so bad.
So let me ask you a question. Do you work?
Yes.
Were you at work on Tuesday?
No.
Why?
Because I have a lot of medical issues right now.
Okay, but it wasn't sick. We cannot. No, but it wasn't because of Donald Trump's threats.
Yes, the amount of stress I've been under listening to the news because of the type of work that I do, I am impacted by the stress. I have an amount of that is impacted by the stress levels that is being created. And I'm not even Iranian. I'm not even Lebanese. I can't imagine what the people who have families or relatives that live in those places, what the physical impact of the stress is on them right now.
That's no doubt.
Fair enough.
Coming up, Cardi B doing Cardi B things. It appears because her tour stopped in DC last night, and there was someone in the audience that you would not expect. Be right back.
Hard workouts make you old. Chair Tai Chi makes you young. Start Chair Tai Chi on Monday and see real results.
Disappear for a month. On Monday, we're starting the Chair Tai Chi Challenge for men over 50. Just 7 minutes a day to boost your senior energy. Get your principal.
Welcome back to TMZ Live. Cardi B doing Cardi B things. It appears because her tour stopped in DC last night, and there was someone in the audience that you would not expect, because we know that she and Stefan Diggs have broken up, and it did not seem like it was
not
amicable.
No, they were, and she unfollowed him. She made it clear, nothing to do with him.
And yet, for some reason, he was not only in the crowd with his mom and his brother, living it up, loving the show, but they left the show together. That would be Cardi and Stefan.
And as they might say in Mean Girls, it's so Cardi B.
Well,
Yes,
yeah.
Cardi doing Cardi things.
It's very much so known. Cardi, the few people that we've known Cardi to be with, she's broken up with Offset at least.
He divorced and attempted to twice.
So many times. And then the breakups and the amount of time she said she was going to leave so many times. We also know that Stefan Diggs, his mom, is damn near obsessed with Cardi. She loves Cardi. I think this is her second concert that she's actually been to of Cardi's. So they have a kid together. They're going to be family. The family loves her music. They love the support. Don't know if they actually went home together because they did go to an after party.
But the fact that they went in a car together.
They're amicable. They have to talk. They have a kid. They have to talk.
When you get in a car with somebody at a nightclub, yeah,
the kid's not around.
No, but I mean, but just because the kid's not around doesn't mean they can't get in the car.
So Stefan, what about an outfit for school for?
They're not talking about the kid. They're amicable because of the kid.
You know that there's not a lot of talking, probably.
You know what I thought about when I saw this? Remember when Cardi B, it was like New Year's Eve, and she basically was fighting with Offset, and then she put that tweet out, you know what, I'm gonna go get some, because she just doesn't want to find a new guy, and she might be a little horny.
She's not
lazy.
But you're making yourself just lazy.
Well, it is. No one has to. She's on tour. She doesn't have time to be finding a new guy to date and then have sex with after she already had a sexual relationship with Stefan.
How's this for take? That Cardi B flies off the handle when she gets mad at somebody, and maybe for good reason, right? But she is quick to end things, and then on reflection,
We've had this conversation. She just wants to have friends with benefits, essentially. I don't want to meet a new guy and have to get started all over again.
Offset was a little more than friends.
No, we're not doing
She married him.
Yeah, but Stefan, she didn't marry Stefan.
Well, I understand that, but she is quick to end it. But
And quick to get her to scratch her itch.
I don't think it's even scratching her itch. I think she thinks maybe I was a little rash there.
No. I can tell you that.
Offset and Cardi B, in my opinion, are a mess. I feel like I don't understand how the Stephon Diggs situation is tied into the whole thing, because you would think that she would have learned from the fact of everything she's gone through with Offset and his alleged crimes that are going on. And now she's going to go get with Stephon, who is basically doing the same thing.
Yeah, end of story. That hat looks like something Stephon Diggs would wear, actually.
I think he stole it from me, actually.
Yeah, by the way, speaking of her ex, we found out that Cardi did indeed reach out to Offset after shooting at the casino. Everyone was wondering if, things have not been great between them. Would she actually, like you said, they have kids together.
Yeah.
And she did reach out and they did have a conversation. He's recovering, he's gonna be fine.
Planning to publish your book? You could reach 3 billion more readers. If you've written a book and you're thinking about publishing it, you have to watch this video. Hi, I'm Sarah from Spines, the fastest growing publishing platform in the United States. If you want to give your book the best shot at success, there are a few things you need to know. The world has opened up. Today's global book market spans multiple languages and formats, with international readers representing billions of potential customers. Smart authors are publishing in multiple languages and reaching readers all over the world. Most authors start with English, but there are 5 major languages and dozens of international distribution channels where your book can be available. At Spines, we expand your reach globally across 6 languages and versions, from soft covers to audiobooks in multiple markets. Using the most advanced translation technology and top-tier international professionals, all at an unbeatable price. Want to publish your book? Want to hear more details? Leave your info and we'll reach out with a phone call to share all of the information right away. Stay tuned.
My wife said, if you win, we'll fly to Asia. If I win, we'll fly to Paris. I bet you won't get toned with just Tai Chi walking before Christmas. Guess who won?
My dad can't lose weight with Tai Chi, so it's a scam?
Oh, no, he's probably just doing it wrong.
So the big question everyone's had about Taylor Frankie Paul and her ex Dakota Mortensen is, why in the hell do these two continue to get back together when it is very clearly a toxic and at times violently toxic relationship? Well, Dakota opened the door a little bit and let people in on their relationship, or at least from his perspective, why he keeps going back. He is on a reality show right now called the Unwell Winter Games, and during the show, he had a conversation with Gleb Savchenko from Dancing with the Stars. He is also on the show. And this is what he said about Taylor. This is what Dakota said about Taylor.
I never have moved on from Taylor, and I was just waiting for her. I was like, maybe I'll have a chance. I found out she was talking to another guy, hooked up with him, then hooked up with me.
Did you know that she hooked up with a guy?
No, she lied to me. And then had sex with me, and then after tells me. And I was like,
the sex was better with you, so...
Yeah,
well, that's what
and
she
then,
did.
yeah, and so then that sucked up.
Yeah, for good. Exactly.
Oh my God. Wow. Oh my
Wow.
God.
So love that Glove is hyping him up in this situation, but we do have to remember that this was filmed, we were told, like 2 months ago. So this is all before, we obviously got the video of.
But he knew what had happened. But he knew, right, he's well aware
of course.
He was there.
Barstool.
Yeah.
He was the recipient.
And this is kind of the whole narrative on Secret Lives of Mormon Wives too, of like Dakota just constantly, wanting to get back with Taylor and not hooking up with anyone, but then he hooks up with one of her friends.
Well, this is what I don't understand. He's like shocked that she hooked up with someone else and he hooked up with him.
Yeah.
The whole point, correct me if I'm wrong, Secret Lives of Mormon Wives all started because there were some of those women, including Taylor, who were swingers.
Yeah, that was kind of what put them in the
what
map.
is he shocked about?
But it wasn't Dakota yet. Dakota was in the picture after
But
the
if you know that that's what she was into, it was a good chance. Did he? Oh, he thought that when she got with him, that she would let her sleep with
Wasn't
anybody
he also?
Yes.
He was hooking up with her friends after they were broken up. So I think he's putting on this act that he's this good guy, waiting for her, hoping for
I
a
think
chance.
there should be a policy, 3 bar stools, and we're done.
My name is Meggett.
this entire situation, it just feels like we are caught in the middle of the group chat. They're clearly having a pissing contest on who can get the last laugh. And honestly, the only person who's going to lose in this situation is their child.
Yeah.
That is a fact.
But children.
Well, they have.
No, I know, but all
She
those,
has
but
kids.
I know, but I'm saying all those kids are in the middle of this,
Her 3 children.
this chaos. And so I do want to make sure I understand this. So that was filmed clearly after the incident, but before the video came out.
Yes, before the video, and also before the February incident that caused them to stop filming Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
So even after he's talking about this, he hooked up with her again.
Yes.
Yeah.
If your booty looks like this, if your belly looks like this, and your arms look like this,
this Monday, April 13th, we start Tai Chi Challenge for Beginner on.
Coming up, Spencer Pratt is running for mayor of Los Angeles, and he's serious about this. And he has an old beef from his reality show days with Lauren Conrad. So Lauren was on the Today Show. Jenna Bush Hager brought up that old beef. Her reaction is priceless. Be right back. All right, we're going to talk a little politics, LA politics, but really this is about.
So, not my decision to make. And also Spencer's sister, who kind of has her issues on her own.
Definitely.
She said that it wouldn't be a good idea for Spencer to be mayor of LA. But Spencer did see this clip. He did respond.
Oh, yeah, here's his tweet. He said, pretty sure LC would vote for me if she lived in LA and her kids had to walk over fentanyl zombies and human poop on their way to school. I'm just saying. He's going to paint the picture of LA as this dystopian nightmare.
Been done many times. The big thing with him is the fires, and he really did step out in that situation, and it's a big deal. So we will see what happens.
Thousands of women are raving about this needle-free filler that erases sagging mouth corners, jowls, and lip.
Coming up, pretty extraordinary statement from the First Lady, Melania Trump, today at the White House.
The lies linking me with the disgraceful Jeffrey Epstein need to end today.
Be right back.
Need to end today.
Pretty extraordinary statement from the First Lady, Melania Trump, today at the White House. She chose to address Jeffrey Epstein rumors. Now, one of the things with the Epstein files coming out that a lot of people were talking about her, and there was a book that was supposed to come out talking about this, that Epstein allegedly introduced Donald Trump to Melania.
So she addressed this, but also said something that honestly does not feel.
Open the door. Open the door now. Do not push him. Don't push him. I'm pushing you. You do not touch my options. You understand me?
You trespass in the house! Get out! You trespassing over here!
You can see the video. I don't mind paying for it and finishing it off. I need to take these articles from as gifting.
Have you ever wondered how ICE really works in the United States and just how wild some illegal immigrant cases can get? In today's video, I'm showing you some of the craziest real-life moments where illegal immigrants were caught red-handed. From a routine traffic stop that turned into a full-blown investigation, to suspects caught stealing thousands of dollars in gift cards, and even 2 women caught shoplifting, plus 1 Indian woman who tried to lie her way out of trouble. These are 8 shocking incidents. And trust me, the last one will absolutely blow your mind. So let's jump right in, starting with our first suspect.
I'm not sure why you were here, but you're about to go to jail.
Why?
What do you mean why? That's common sense.
In Coshocton County, Ohio, deputies noticed something strange inside a local Walmart. A man kept walking in and out of the restroom, each time carrying stacks of gift cards and then quietly returning them to the shelf. At first, it didn't seem like a big deal, but when Walmart employees recognized him, everything changed. They told deputies that this man wasn't just another shopper. He was a wanted scammer, linked to over 300 counterfeiting and theft charges across multiple states. Within seconds, officers moved in to arrest him.
There's several Chinese people.
He's no shit, huh? Okay.
You got this, and I'll go back. Yeah, you got it. All right.
As soon as somebody buys these and loads these, they take the money right off. This is huge.
Yeah, take your hands off trying to send through all the stuff. So, were those cards on him too?
Yes.
Yeah. All of them. Evidently, there's some big scams going on. Yeah. Oh, they use these things all the time for that.
Oh, yeah.
You got ID?
No ID.
No ID?
I just the American.
You what? America, yeah, you're here.
Okay. How many cards is that? Yeah, I don't know if these cards have been tampered yet, or I know he's not putting a lot of money in these while he's in the store, or he's just get all these. He took them all to the bathroom. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. So he doesn't, numbers on and then transferring somewhere. Use the card.
Please, they're getting info off of that.
Passport. Passport. That's what we're trying to get.
You know what a passport is?
Passport.
Yeah. You see your passport.
我是走线进来的，然后我的护照，在跨入边境的时候就没有带进来。They came in by lines. Passport was not brought in when it was. Where are you living at?
Where's home? Where do you live?
Where are you staying at? Okay, and then
It turned out the suspect was living in the U.S. illegally and had been here for more than 4 months. During that time, he had been targeting Walmarts all across Ohio, stealing thousands of dollars through a smart but dangerous scam.
Okay, alright. Thank you.
You got a vehicle?
No, not here. So sorry, my God. 我刚来美国没什么钱。来，我找朋友see it. I get that, but I really don't care. So. How did you get here? These ones were. I don't know.
You don't know?
They here, as in this Walmart. Yeah.
So they already tampered with it?
Not these ones. They have these ones. What they do is they go tamper and get whatever information they need, put them back out. The customer buys it, loads it, and then they get the funds.
We may have all that information already.
We may.
Yeah, I'm not putting these back out. I can't. What was this at? This was Walmart, Illinois.
I'm not sure why you are here, but you're about to go to jail.
Right.
What do you mean why? That's common sense.
Damn it! Someone came out of the bathroom, right? He's past the last point of sale.
Yeah, he threw to the bathroom. He passed the registration.
Why was you in the bathroom?
What do you think, Sarge?
Technically, it's theft. He walked past the last point of sale with these concealed in his coat. That stuff right there was partaking in these. He's got to have ID, or guess what? I mean, he's going to jail if he don't provide ID.
It was simple, but clever. He would grab stacks of gift cards from the shelf and take them into the bathroom. There, he used a small skimming device to secretly copy the card numbers and barcodes. Then, he'd carefully reseal the packaging and place the cards back on the shelf. Since gift cards don't activate until someone buys them, the scammer would wait. As soon as a real customer purchased and activated one of those cards, his software instantly notified him. And within seconds, he drained the balance.
He's in the system. I don't know what he was being caught for. It's this. I don't know how much.
He's in the Walmart system?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Illinois. He's hitting all Walmarts throughout the state of Ohio, Illinois. He was last seen in Illinois. Right here. And these ones are in a jacket? No, they were on mine. Oh. What state's am I? Michigan. So Michigan, he had 38 older cards, 26 Apple, and 12 N-Common Visa cards. Is your name Ming? Ming?
Ming?
M-I-N-G-F-U-E. So sorry. Is that you? Yeah, I know this.
Yeah.
Okay. This ain't the first Walmart you've had problems with.
Sorry, you.
Is your last name?
X.
I'm not shouting my phone, buddy. Is that you? Name? Yeah.
For months, this man had managed to stay under the radar, slipping past law enforcement while stealing thousands of dollars. But this time, Coshocton County deputies weren't about to let him walk away. When they searched his car in the parking lot, the vehicle was filled with over 2,200 stolen gift cards.
Sir, you English no good.
You going to jail. You're going to start comprehending English real quick. Hang on.
I speak, I speak.
Hang on a second there.
Please, me speak.
He understands.
No.
Hang on. He gives me nothing.
Amazing how it all came together.
So I speak. Okay, give me I speak.
This is better.
Yeah.
This is like regional.
警察先生，我这是犯了什么罪吗？
I can pull off. He says, am I guilty of any crime? Yes. 100, 200, 20, 40, 60, 1, 261. You want some change?
So I speak. Please, me speak. 警察先生，你能帮我叫个翻译吗？
So that should be something you call an interpreter. This is an interpreter.
还是谁也说了吗？警察先生，这些卡片不是你们有钱吗？
These cards don't have any money. These you still have to pay for. You can't just take these.
See, you can see us all there.
These are not free. And you can seal them.
No, so
You didn't go past these registers?
We did though, right? Because he's on camera. 我放口袋里是我要上厕所，我还没出去呢。
I put it in my pocket and went to go to the bathroom. I haven't gone out yet. Doesn't matter. You went past the last point of sale. So I put it in my pocket and went to the bathroom. Right there. That's intent to steal. Good going.
警察先生，我还没过去收银台呢，我人还在这里。
I haven't been to cashier yet. Wait,
My people.
Hold this. Hey, hang on a second here.
So my people.
Hang on a second.
Yeah.
What?
Hang on a second. Sorry, sir.
Hang on a second.
You speak. I please. 然后就警察先生，我走到这里，我还没过收银台，他们就过来塞我了。哦 ，no。Sorry, please. 警察先生，我刚走到这里，你们就过来找我了。
Mr. Policeman, you came to see me as soon as I got here. Oh, yeah, okay. I think we're done.
Let's go.
All right. Well, I'm gonna ask him where he lives at real quick so we can try to get an idea on him.
Does he have car keys or anything? No. Sir, please, sir.
You gonna stand there?
Okay.
Okay.
我从德州进来的。
I came in from Texas. Is that where you live?
Mexico.
I live in Mexico.
No.
You cannot go past the register and have merchandise in your coat. That means you're not gonna pay for it.
Hey, we're not keep going back and forth on this.
What do you just want me to hook them for testing for now?
She's looking for an investigative hold, do the report. I will either charge him with a misdemeanor in the morning or we'll figure it out.
The man was arrested and later pleaded guilty to 299 counts of counterfeiting and 1 count of engaging in a pattern of corrupt activity. In total, he was sentenced to 6 years in an Ohio state prison. Have you ever been a victim of a scam like this? Tell me in the comments. Okay, so now I show you our next illegal immigrants.
A usted ahora lo lleva a migración. Ya, pero yo tengo familia aquí, tengo hijos, no pueden deportarme, po. ¿Deportar?
It was June 25th, 2024, when deputies in Charlotte County, Florida, responded to reports of shoplifting at a local Burlington store. As one of the deputies approached the first suspect, the woman tried to act innocent, pretending not to understand by suddenly speaking Spanish.
Hey, how you doing? Can I talk to you real quick?
¿Cómo?
Can I talk to you real quick?
Sí.
All right. Are you here with someone else?
Español.
¿Tú estás aquí con otra persona?
No, sola.
Okay. All right. ¿Tú eres de aquí?
Sí, de Tampa, ¿por qué?
Okay. All right. ¿Tú tienes tu ID contigo?
Sí.
No está tu ID. Antes de estar cogiendo cosas, okay. All right.
¿Por qué?
All right. Solo quédate ahí un momento, okay?
¿Qué pasó?
You're saying the other one's inside the store?
Other people's inside this.
But this isn't the correct vehicle?
Church is home, the other people's.
Okay. All right. All right. Go ahead and put your hands behind your back.
Maybe.
Put your hand behind your back. Stay right here.
Yeah.
Stay right here.
Qué enojada.
224, 1 detained.
Eso fue todo mi teléfono.
Okay.
¿Por qué? ¿Qué pasó?
224 says copy a California tag.
Yeah, don't tell them not to come with the car.
All right. Stay right here. In what store? Oh, he already has her?
Burlington's?
Yep, I see him. All right, here they're already out with him. Okay.
Disculpe.
What was that?
The merchandise inside the box.
You already seen it?
I saw her.
Okay.
Both of them put the merchandise inside the box.
Perfect.
And I
Okay.
saw the merchandise.
All
Oiga,
right.
disculpe. ¿Yo puedo llamar a mi familia?
Just a moment.
No, gracias. Por favor, que no se me enoje. Caballero, ¿le puede sacar mi billetera de ahí, por favor?
They're answering your question.
La billetera, por favor. La billetera, ¿me la puede sacarme?
So it's just the two right now. I just need someone to stay with that car because that's where all the merchandise is right now.
Okay.
The LP guy already confirmed. I guess he looked in the car while they were in Ross, and then she scooted it out over here and got into the car, and that's where he backed off and was sitting behind.
It didn't take long for officers to realize this wasn't the woman's first stop of the day. In fact, she and her partner were part of an organized retail theft ring, a small criminal group that had been targeting multiple stores across Florida. Earlier that same day, the two women had already hit a Ross and a Marshall's store in the very same shopping plaza. They might have gotten away with it, but greed got the better of them. When they decided to steal from a third store, Burlington, that's when their luck finally ran out. At first, deputies had only one woman in custody.
I'm just gonna detect someone, probably another person inside.
Does she speak any English or no? Okay. I'm gonna, before she goes in the car,
¿Español no?
search her.
¿Español no?
Sí, yo hablo con él.
¿Me puede sacarme la billetera delante, por favor?
Un momento.
Sí, porque tengo mi dinero, por favor, para que no se me pierda ya.
I'm just gonna search as best as I can before she gets in the car.
Nosotros vamos a chequear tu arma para verificar que tú no tienes ninguna arma encima de ti ya en the wall.
That's okay.
No, si yo no tengo nada.
You said it was others, right? Yeah, Mikowski has her.
Okay.
Hey, just to confirm, only two, correct?
So, hey, this was in her pocket. It's used to get through anti-theft devices.
Okay.
Wait, there's a Florida state statute for being in possession of an anti-theft device or whatever.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay, let me just check her socks. Tell her to take off her shoes.
Quítate un zapato.
Ay, de verdad, no, pero no tengo nada. Yo me voy a dar todo muy fácil.
Well, let me forget my apron.
¿El otro?
Yeah, it's right here.
Voy a caer. Oiga, ¿usted me podría prestar
Yeah.
teléfono para sacar un número, por favor? Dígale a él.
Un momento. You got your camera roll?
I think no.
¿Esto creo que Charlotte?
Looks like she has an Argentinian.
No entiendo. Sorry. Like, hablo like muy poquito. Epa. I don't entiendo. So un momento, okay?
They then turned their attention to the second suspect, who was still inside Burlington, actively shoplifting, completely unaware that her partner had already been caught. Moments later, both women were arrested. In total, they had stolen over $6,000 worth of merchandise.
So I'm not here. He's somewhere in the bottom of that. Sorry, she doesn't know originally, but.
No lo tengo. Tengo el número.
You only have your number?
¿Mi nombre?
No, you have ID.
No lo tengo. Acá
You have nothing? How about we appeal you? You have anything in here?
No entiendo lo que me dice, ¿verdad?
Oh, okay.
No lo tengo.
You have nada? Okay, how about you open it? What's in there? Okay, I understand you don't understand me, but you know what open is? Open? Okay, how about we just use the translator? I'm asking for you to open it first. Do we have a counter or something over here? Or how about this card? Is yours? Or from here?
Sí, no, allá.
It's from there? Yeah, bro. Yeah. This yours?
No me hace, no, esto.
No? No? Do you have a picture of your IDs?
Tengo mi... Pero esa no saca.
Last name? You have a pad?
¿El book?
Full name.
Todo completo. Ah, ok. ¿Mi celular?
Don't go to the gym.
Ah, mi...
Yeah, you're going to jail. You know what I mean? You know what jail is, right? It's gonna go with you. Yeah. You know, some slip on and shit. Take them off. Yeah. Look, okay. There's. Alright. So, yeah, so what?
De todo. Hasta lo que le dije que no lo pillaron a meter para acá, conche tu madre. Le dije que no lo pillaron a meter para acá, conche tu madre.
At first, the women thought it would be a simple process. See a judge, post bond, and walk free to continue their so-called shopping spree. ICE had already been notified. Investigators soon learned that one of the women was living in the U.S. illegally and had even given birth to a child on American soil, granting the baby automatic U.S. citizenship.
Oigo una pregunta. En la cárcel, ¿no salimos de la cárcel hoy día?
Puede ser que depende de que usted habla con el juez.
Ya, pero escúchame, ¿no van a dar fianza, así que hay que pagar cash?
Oh, bail.
¿Eh?
Está hablando de bail.
Sí.
No.
Fianza no, ¿por qué?
Pues depende en lo que habla, depende en qué el juez hace.
Porque el juez decide eso. Ya. Ya, mira, escúchame, quiero que me escuches tú. Yo tengo orden de arresto. Sí. No, si te lo echan, no, Orlando. No. Si le pregunté, no. ¿Me dijo que lo echando aquí? No, yo ya pregunté. ¿Esto por el hotel se echan a mí? No, en el lote. Los van a mí no me van a darme la libertad, me van a dejarme ahí porque tengo orden de arresto. Pero mañana te van a darte, hoy día o mañana te van a darte la libertad, sí o sí, te la tienen que dártela porque no te pueden tener en cama, porque tú no tenías tenido aquí y por eso por la evidencia no pueden tenerte en cama. Y por, ¿dónde te pasas? Afuera, en la camioneta y amor. Yo voy caminando, te pasó por el lado mío, algún que venía, pasó por el lado mío y dije, no, me empezó a ver cuando me dice que vaya, conche, tu madre, el viejo culiado venía sabiendo del bullying, del bullying. Oiga, pero dígame la verdad, que a los cerros no nos dan así como para pagar plata, cash.
La verdad, ustedes se van aquí para atrás, Argentina.
¿Deportar?
Te están poniendo un cleaner,
¿Un hall de migración? Pero a usted ahora lo lleva a migración. ¿Lo lleva a migración a nosotros?
No, va a venir para ustedes.
¿Cuándo? ¿Cuánto poco tiempo?
Puede ser mañana, puede ser el tiempo después. No sé.
Ya, pero mire, yo tengo hijos aquí, po.
No sé qué decirte.
Cuando tenés hijos, ¿te deportan igual?
Yo no trabajo por inmigración, no me seguro de cómo ellos trabajan. Pero yo sé cuando ellos se meten en el negocio de nosotros, ellos sacan a la gente normalmente rápido. No sé, no hay mucho.
Y a nosotros nos pusieron hold de migración ya.
Ya, sí.
¿Y por qué tan rápido?
Porque en el tiempo que estamos hablando, estamos tratando de verificar la percepción de ustedes y parece que ellos quieren poner un detainer para ustedes, no sé por qué. Explicarte que están sacando del país.
Ya, pero yo tengo un hijo, tengo familia aquí, tengo hijos, no pueden deportarme, po.
No sé si te pueden deportar la familia, pero aquí pueden sacar del país.
Y mi hijo, yo no puedo ser deportado porque mi hijo... ¿Cómo no puedo hacerlo si yo quiero que mi hijo también lo deporten?
Tu hijo nació aquí, ¿no?
Sí, es americano.
No van a sacar a un hijo.
¿Y cómo yo voy a dejar a mi hijo aquí?
No sé si puede llevarlo con usted, pero no te vi seguro en eso.
Miren, que tengo unas curiosidades. Vale, que lo único que... Usted es el único que sabe hablar español. Aquí ahora que los tengan aquí, a los otros... Igual tenemos posibilidad de que los suelten o no, no.
Ya, como ustedes ya se van a deportar, ya no van a salir de aquí.
Pero ¿cómo sabe usted que tenemos la deportación?
Porque ya Migración nos llamó a nosotros.
Migración ya lo llamó a ustedes. Y supuestamente, ¿cuándo viene Migración?
Puede ser mañana, puede ser el día después. No estoy seguro, pero no van a poder salir de la cárcel.
Y no van a ninguna fianza, no pusieron la fianza.
Ya cuando en Migración se ponen en el negocio, ya se está confirmado.
Ya, entonces nosotros nos vamos a juicio mañana.
Sí, vamos a poder hablar
¿Con la juez?
Sí,
¿Ya?
Pues, primero y después de eso vamos a bregar con migración.
Con migración. Eso va a ser mañana.
Puede ser.
¿El juicio mañana es?
Sí, pues porque...
No, el juicio puede ser que vamos a hablar para hacer el día de corte de juicio y después de eso, oye, ustedes van a tener que quedarse aquí por los cargos y después de eso migración van a venir. Primero tienen que bregar con los...
Ya, ¿los cargos de nosotros son muy graves o no? La verdad, dígame la verdad.
Son diferentes niveles de crimen. Yo creo que el crimen que ustedes hicieron es más alto, es felony.
Felony, ya.
Los felonies son más altos que los misdemeanors. Los misdemeanors son cosas de 60 días en la cárcel y ya. Pero los felonies se pueden ser años. Son para años.
No, pero es que sí, pero mire. No, me meta miedo si yo sé. Pero es un robo de una tienda, no dañamos a nadie, no le pegamos a nadie, no hicimos escándalo.
¿Sabes las herramientas que ustedes tienen encima?
Una, pero nada más.
Los dos.
¿Cuáles dos?
Porque ella tiene uno que llevo todo. Solo por tener eso son un felony.
No, si sé lo que es felony, mire. Yo entiendo lo que es felony, pero por felony tú te vas en libertad igual para la calle, po. Te vas por felony igual te vas a ir para la calle, po.
Ahí.
O sea,
te podés irte para tu casa por felony.
No, ya como inmigración ya.
Se metió, ya.
Si los cargos de los cargos criminales caen, o ya dicen que ay no, ellos no hicieron nada y quitan los cargos, en inmigración ya pusieron un
hold.
¿Ah?
Migración puso un hold de migración para nosotros.
Sí, ustedes se van a deportar, no van a dejar que ustedes se van. O sea,
ya, lo otro.
As of now, there are no official reports confirming their deportation, but that could change anytime soon. Okay, so now I show you our next illegal immigrants.
You can see the video. I don't mind paying for it and finishing it off. I need to take these articles from as gifting. I promise. But if I'm paying for it, what is the harm?
Again, I understand you're sorry. I know you're ready to pay for it now, but you didn't want to pay for it then. So I need you to give me your identity.
767. If it is that much, I don't mind paying you.
No, we're past that. I don't know why you keep saying that over and over again. I told you many times we are past that.
It was just another normal afternoon at a Target store in Illinois. A woman had been inside the store for over 7 hours, filling reusable bags with clothes and home goods. And what they saw next confirmed their suspicion.
So this is Anaya. This is the info she gave me. She said she does not have an ID on her. She's been in the store about 7 hours or so. She says she's waiting for someone to pick her up. She's visiting here.
Okay.
She says she doesn't live here. She's from India. She's with family. They're coming to pick her up still. A few times, so basically she's been in the store. We've been watching for at least 4 hours. She's taken a ton of merchandise, different kinds. We're getting a total right now for you. It'll be well over 500, I'm sure.
No, it will be more.
You're right.
Yeah.
And she put them all into big 3 reusable bags. And then she kept getting really close to the door. She'd stand there, she'd set her phone. About 3 times she did that. And then she came back into the store, kept shopping, and then eventually we just stopped her because she passed the first set of doors, went into the vestibule. We stopped her in the vestibule, brought her back here. She's saying that she was still planning to pay for it.
Okay, what do you guys want done?
We're in the process of and trespass.
Okay.
When she finally crossed the first set of exit doors, loss prevention officers stopped her. Inside her bags, hundreds of dollars worth of items, all with ripped off tags. When police arrived, the total value had already crossed $1,300. The woman said she was just about to pay, insisting it was all a misunderstanding.
Let me just pay for it and not.
That's not happening. So you don't have an ID on you or anything like that? No? No driver's license?
No, I don't drive there also.
Okay. So you don't have any sort of Illinois ID, anything like that?
I'm not from this country.
Okay, well, there's a lot of people who aren't from this country that still have stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a middle name?
No. I can only do is I don't mind paying for it, everything, and then leaving.
No, that's not happening.
Can't do that. We lost that opportunity.
Why can't I just pay for it?
Yeah, we're way past that. You committed a felony.
But if I'm paying for it, what is the harm?
It would have been fine if you didn't leave, right? You would have had that opportunity to pay, but because you left the store, at that point, you chose to not pay for it. You can't go back. It already happened.
She identified herself as an Indian visitor, saying she didn't have a local ID or driver's license. Officers asked for her passport. She refused. She kept repeating the same thing over and over. I'll just pay for it now. Please let me go. But the officers calmly explained that the chance was long gone.
Now how do you order it or what do you do?
You can't come back to Target. You can go to another Walmart or Meijer or Kohl's, or you're gonna have to find a different store to shop at. But again, you made that decision.
I'm gonna try to run this to see if I can.
I'm a very nice guy, I promise, but this is my job.
I'm a free door check file for last name of Fly first on a shot. I'll check on why you don't have to have like a account or anything, do you?
Where do you live?
India.
Who are you staying with right now? Where does your family live?
Family is in India.
How'd you get here?
On the flight.
On the flight?
Yeah.
So you're here by yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. They let you fly over without a passport?
Of course I have one.
You have a
Is it
passport?
with you?
It's how do I carry the passport and roam around?
Okay, let's see your passport.
I don't have a passport right now.
So, okay. You flew here from India to America.
Exactly, but the passport is not with me in this bag.
Do you have a picture of it?
Listen, I don't want to get into any trouble.
Yeah, it's too late for that, girl. Pull up the passport.
No, but then what am I supposed to do?
That's none of my business. I don't know. You shouldn't have been stealing stuff.
I have not yet done anything.
Oh, you have. Pull up your passport.
For what? What do I do?
Okay. You need to pull up your passport now, or we're gonna take you back to the station and you can pull up your passport there.
Please don't, I'm really...
It's too late. Can you please just pull up your passport?
You promised me that nothing is going to happen.
I did not promise you.
Of course you said that nothing, once we do this,
No, I said as soon as we're done with our recording, we'll try to get you out of here as soon as we can.
Yeah, you said you
I did not.
You won't be allowed to...
We're not gonna fight with him.
We're not arguing.
We're not gonna fight with him. It's too late.
So what do you want me to do?
I need you to pull up your passport. I need to see valid identification for you.
And then?
And then you will be going back to the station with us. I need to see your identification.
Please don't take me to the station.
That's simply not going to happen. You don't get to have that choice anymore. You
But
made lots of poor choices today, and now you have to pay for
But
those
he
poor
said
choices.
he's not going to put me in the station.
Well, he doesn't work for us. I don't know who this man is.
So I'm really sorry. I'm ready to pay for this.
Again, I understand you're sorry. I know you're ready to pay for it now, but you didn't want to pay for it then. So I need you to give me your identity.
I'm really sorry. Please. You just getting your receipt from
I mean, there's a lot of stuff. She's just scanning it all into her receipt.
But she, 1 second, he promised me that you can leave once it's scanned.
Simply none of my business. That has nothing to do with our job.
And it's
So
not.
what do you want me to do?
Passport, please. Thank you.
So who's Jamisha?
Me.
So,
And this is
so
my,
who's Anaya?
this is my name also. But this is my Jamisha Avlani, you can see my picture.
Okay.
This is me.
Okay, so this is not your first name.
No.
Okay, that's nice.
Listen, please don't embarrass me, ma'am.
I think your own choices are going to embarrass you. It has nothing to do with me.
So what do I have to do if I have to, what do you want me to do?
You are.
I'm not taking anything. I'm ready to even pay for it.
Does not work like that. I don't know why you keep saying the same thing over and over again.
So what do you want me to do?
I just want you to be quiet for right now.
I'm really sorry to bother you if it is. I'm really sorry.
I understand that you're sorry.
I'm not from this country. I'm not going to be staying here.
Okay. How far?
Okay. Are you allowed to steal things in India?
No,
I didn't think so.
Okay, the minute he came, he came, I returned back. I said I was just waiting. I've not gone away. How would I even run with these bags? It's humanly impossible. I don't mind paying for the merchandise.
Okay, I'm done talking to you because you just keep repeating the same things over and over again. And I keep telling you that that's not an option. We can't do that. So I'm not going to be acknowledging it anymore because I've already determined that we're not doing that. You're repeating the same thing over and over again and expecting a different response. It's not going to happen.
1 second, he promised me.
You've already said that. We've already gone over that. And it does not matter to me what he said. You still committed the crime regardless of what he said.
Did you go past the double doors?
No, not once only. Not even completely.
Before I ask any more questions, okay? I will explain this to you. I'm not asking that I know.
Yep, ask those.
A few times she came up and slapped right here. I think she was seeing it through the deep or not. I don't know. And then she went back in, grabbed her stuff, came back, stood right here, back, grabbed it again. And the last time she went all the way around, came back behind the laundry carts, and didn't let me say anything.
What do I tell them?
You can tell them whatever you want.
You have to at least be helpful. If I've run away or something.
I have to be helpful?
At least you can be, I know you all are being very helpful, but I just need you all to help me. First of all, not from this country. If I'm not carrying money or something, it's a different thing. I have money to pay also.
Okay. He did explain that to you. I'm sorry that you're from a different country, but like you said, you're not allowed to steal in India either. Most places do not really appreciate thieves.
Of course, you don't know. If you walk out and if I walked out and I ran away, yet I'm just coming, he came running, I was like, what's happening? I was on a call, where are these people? I don't mind paying for it. You can see the video, I don't mind paying for it and finishing it off. I need to take these articles as gifting. I promise. There won't be anything, it's over. I just need to pay and finish it.
As store staff finished scanning the merchandise for inventory, the woman pleaded one last time. "Let me pay." The officers had heard enough. They placed her under arrest for felony retail theft and criminal trespassing.
Oh, this kid. Was it the little one?
Or 13 before tax.
I don't mind paying that.
Stop. No, I'll take that back because I'll have to do the comparison. Have you take your bag off? Put it right here.
Why?
Take the bag off and put it right there. I told you what's gonna happen. Stand up. Okay. Nothing on you? Nothing on you? No guns, no knives, nothing like that?
Oh, nothing.
Misha, just face me. Just stay where you're at.
She has a personal luggage too.
Yeah, it's an empty bag.
So she brought something into the store?
It's an empty luggage.
Please don't do this.
Don't resist. It's not going to go well for you.
Right.
We explained it to you, okay? When you take things without permission, that's a crime.
But what do I do now? For how long is it going to be?
Hang on.
Huh?
Okay, just hang on. Okay, it's probably going to be 1, maybe 2 hours, okay? It depends on how quick the paper process works.
Please, I'm requesting you. What do I tell the family?
I don't know what to tell you.
From here.
Yeah. Do not resist. You're gonna catch an extra charge. Don't do that. Just keep walking.
What charge you are
41 6041.
They could have let that lady go. They could have let that lady go.
Yeah.
Push that like button.
Great.
No, I want to pay right now.
I understand that it's embarrassing. I wouldn't steal either. It's very, very embarrassing.
I know motherfuckers embarrassing the shit out of everybody.
You're going to be processed. Huh? You're going to go back to the station. You're going to be criminally charged and processed.
What do you know in this criminal? What is that?
You'll have to go to court.
But at least let me know. How do I need to call somebody?
You'll need to call somebody later when we're done with all the paperwork.
But what do those people do to me? Like, what do you want me to do? I need to go home.
Well, you should have thought about that.
Well, but if you keep me forever or something?
No, we're not going to keep you forever.
Please, I have a daughter who's 20.
We should be a better role model, right?
She's 20.
Then please help me.
I'm not going to help you. Why would I help you?
Huh? I'm not going to run away. Why are you keeping this?
Keeping what?
This stuff who's going to run away for $1,300.
She was taken to the local station for processing. According to reports, she'll now face formal charges and possible deportation proceedings. The total $1,347 worth of merchandise.
That's what I said, the best thing was to pay and finish it.
The best thing to do would be not to steal in the first place. That would be the best thing to do.
Of course, if I would have run away, it was a different thing. The minute the guy came back, I turned. He was like, target security. I said, what happened? He said, you've not paid. I said, I don't mind paying for the items.
Well, why did you walk through the doors then?
Because I was on call with them. They said
you're going to walk past the last point of all the cash registers with the security thing.
No, if the security bars were there, okay, I know that if I pass that, it's going to beep.
It only beeps if you have certain items.
Yeah, I know. And after that, the second door was there also, I didn't pass. Tell me, with this heavy luggage, I could have taken the things and put it in my bag also, the main bag.
You passed all of the points of
Not all of the points.
Yes, you did.
The first half point.
No. You passed all of the cash registers.
No, cash registers were different, and this side was there.
So I'm trying to explain. Something to you. So what we call the last point of final sale, right? If you take the cart full of the stuff, okay, and which is you had $1,300 worth of stuff. And you push the cart past all of the places that you could have paid for it.
Yes.
And then you start to leave. We have a problem.
I know. I understand. I don't mind paying for it right now. I'm going to have to do the procedure now. Get Target stuff again online and ask somebody to do it. It was the simplest thing for him to tell me that next time don't come to the store, and tell him that listen, pay for this and then leave.
Stay honest, stay aware. Because one careless moment can change everything. Okay, so now I show you our next illegal immigrants.
It's gonna be a white, approximately 25-foot cuddy cabin. There's gonna be individuals coming out from the cabin. One individual came out with a ski mask on. They're at the north side of the church. Stop the boat! East side, just south of the bridge. They are now crashing into the seawall.
It was June 17th, 2021, when a Broward County Sheriff's deputy assigned to the Marine Patrol Unit in Pompano Beach, Florida, received a radio call. A vessel was speeding dangerously through the intracoastal waterway, breaking the no-wake speed limit. At first, it seemed like just another reckless boater, but what the deputy was about to discover was far more serious. That vessel was carrying 16 undocumented immigrants.
Hey, cut it off! Put it in neutral! Oscar 520. I got a vessel that is southbound past Northeast 14th Street, refusing to stop. Believe it might be smuggling.
A 26-year-old Bahamian man named Jeremy Roll refused to stop when ordered. Instead, he led law enforcement on a high-speed chase across the water until he finally crashed into a seawall. The impact was violent, sending people scrambling everywhere. Within seconds, several migrants jumped into the water and fled through the nearby neighborhoods.
Okay, we need to get units Probably over by Atlantic. He looks like he's trying to make get to a dock of some sort. There's gonna be a barge right in the middle of the area right here, about 1,000 blocks north ICW. So I'm gonna need either a beach unit on the sands and another unit that's on the ICW. We're on the inside. It's going to be a white, approximately 25-foot cuddy cabin. There might be, there's going to be individuals coming out of the cabin. One individual came out with a ski mask on. He's still going southbound. The man on the ground, he may have some of his house because he went on the west side of the bridge. He's at the church, males that just came out, one black male, one Hispanic looking male. They're at the north side of the church, north side of the church. I have several individuals coming out right now. Right now we're about 10. They're walking along the seawall. They're in the water. We got 3 in the water, 4 in the water. They have maybe 10 to 12 individuals that are still on the boat that's proceeding southbound. East side, just south of the bridge. They are now crashing into the seawall. We have 5 individuals that are now on landfall headed running eastbound. You have a life jacket on, all right? You're okay. Give me a second. I'm going to get you to the boat. Jay, I need you to get to 14th Street right now and get on a boat. Get south of Atlantic. I got a bunch of migrants over here. All right. Hey, that guy's got a gun. That guy's got a gun right there behind the wall. Come on. Rojack, give me your chair. I got your gun. Just watch that board. Yeah, I got it. Guy on board right there. I see. First guy gun. What color is he wearing right now? Black. So you have the ski mask? Ski mask. Here, I got your gun. Here. Good. What's going on? All right. I got the dock right there. We got the aviation unit coming right now. Hey, you want under? Hey, see, you can get a unit to check this fence right here. He said that he saw one of them with a firearm. All right, one of them might be armed. Sarge, that's the only one that we had visual as of right now. But before, there was about 4 males that had gone eastbound. Well, no, most of them got there and then... Had a block on them. There's somebody that vest, they tried putting it on, they came off when they got off the boat. Thank you.
Police quickly began a massive search operation across Pompano Beach. They caught several suspects right away, but a few managed to slip away. Officers weren't about to give up. They blocked roads, checked every car, and searched every street, and their persistence paid off. They eventually caught another suspect trying to escape by car.
497.
Come on. Hey. Make sure you don't have any weapons in your pocket.
Hey, get up.
Hey, get up.
Get up.
Get up. I'm coming. Get down here.
West side, back 6 on. They're on the west side.
Okay, put your hands up. No weapons, we're going back.
Oh, fuck.
How many more people on that side?
Yeah. 5 individuals. They're now on
Go.
Fuck. Running eastbound on the east side. The bridge is up, so it'll end it. Eastbound, across the bridge.
Get the fuck out! No! Do not fight! Do not fight! Go on the ground! Go on the ground now! Go on the ground now! Go on the ground now! Let go! Let go, Tim! Go on the ground now! Go on the ground!
Okay? Go on the ground. Go on the ground now. Go on the ground now. Hey, on the ground. Put your hand behind your back. Put your hand behind your back. Good now. Put your hand behind your back. Put your hand behind your back. Put your hand. Turn around, please. I cannot breathe. All right, put your hand behind your back. I cannot breathe, please. Put your hands behind your back. I can't breathe. I'm having trouble. Come on,
Come on, I don't have.
I don't see it. All right, you're gonna sit you down. Just sit. I can't breathe. All right, don't have a sit.
We still have one in a red hoodie. Put her in a car. What's that? All right. Put this one on the ground.
Just relax, okay? Huh?
Oh, looks up. I feel like blacking out.
All right, so just sit down because now I have black up.
Hey, looks up the cuff. A little bit, please. Let's look up a little bit. Looks up a little bit, sir. Sir. Oh.
Yeah, just, yes.
Looks up a little bit, please. I black it out. Please, I see in blackness.
Give me a second.
I see in blackness. This time we give you a second. There ain't no second to do stuff, please, bro. I'm seeing blackness. I'm seeing blackness.
Yeah, just move back.
All right.
Are you better?
Yeah, I'm good.
Just double it.
Yeah, that's
Double up this one goes on. What is it? Huh? Can what? You're not supposed to move your hand. That's why you're handcuffed.
My last one,
Red hoodie.
my last name is 209. Okay, this is running south, west towards Riverside.
Last seen here. Mateo, was last seen here. That's 209. Red hoodie, red pants.
Well, I'm gonna go on that 10 mark. You can have on down here so we can get everybody that's possibly in water. Just don't go in the water.
Ma'am, did you see anyone here, Ronnie?
I'm gonna go on. I'll take the IT. I'm gonna come in here and tell you.
Red hoodie.
If I can have the Delta unit.
Which way you go? Which way you go?
And I'm gonna start setting up the box. Well, you Bravo 11.
Yeah.
Bravo 11.
Just we're looking for a suspect, man. Do you have anybody in the car?
No.
Can you lower the windows?
Oh, yeah.
You're good. Be careful. Yes, be careful going out. You can go either way, but just be careful. Anthony. We're looking for a suspect. Do you mind if I look at real quick in your car?
You can.
Okay, just lower the windows, please.
They need border patrol up at the 200 block.
Alright, you're good.
I just
We have this.
the job site, but it's across the.
Okay, yeah. So try to exit this way. Be careful, get entering the intersection. Yeah.
Y'all keep saying the Grand Canyon isn't strange because you went on your little family vacation and everything like that and you saw the great sights. But hear me and hear me good. It's strange and it's been some strange discoveries made. We're gonna check this video out right now.
The Grand Canyon is a lot of things. For one, it's visually stunning, but more than anything, it's big. And when something is big, it's easy for stuff to get lost. And some of the lost stuff that's turned up inside the Grand Canyon has been truly mind-bending levels of awe.
California is at a crossroads right now. The rent is too high, healthcare is too high. I'm Assemblymember Isaac Bryan. I'm supporting Tom Steyer because he's delivered the most for California over the longest period of time. Whether it's fighting for a fair criminal legal system, whether it's pushing back against attacks to the foundations of democracy, or calling for everybody to pay their fair share. Tom fought for free lunches for children in schools. He's going to fight to cut utility bills by 25%. He's going to ban corporate PAC money in politics. I want a governor who's going to fight fire with fire. And that fire is Tom Steyer.
Y'all keep saying the Grand Canyon isn't strange because you went on your little family vacation and everything like that, and you saw the great sights. But hear me and hear me good. It's strange, and it's been some strange discoveries made. We're gonna check this video out right now.
The Grand Canyon is a lot of things. For one, it's visually stunning, but more than anything, it's big. And when something is big, it's easy for stuff to get lost. And some of the lost stuff that's turned up inside the Grand Canyon has been truly...
Come on in, push that like button, show me some
These are the 20
love.
strangest things ever discovered at the Grand Canyon. Number 20. Cliff collapse reveals fossils. It's always fascinating when new fossils are discovered. With each finding, science makes a step towards progress in its understanding of the way the world is formed and changed throughout its history. But when fossils literally capture a moment in time, then that's the cause to be extra amazed. When part of the Grand Canyon had a cliff collapse back in 2016, a Norwegian geologist named Alan Krill went poking about in the rocks that had fallen, and he made an awesome discovery. As a visiting professor at the University of Nevada, Krill had taken a bunch of students out hiking in the geological wonder that is the Grand Canyon when he saw the fossils. He took photographs of the fallen rocks and shared them with some colleagues, and it transpired that these fossils were the footprints of two creatures that had taken a walk across a sand dune about 313 million years ago.
Very, very narrow digits. Probably their claw.
This sand dune would have eventually become the Grand Canyon, and their footprints would be encased in the rock of that epic landscape for millions of years before a shift in the rocks revealed their tiny part of the story to the world once again. These fossils are currently the national park's oldest fossilized vertebrate tracks, but who knows what else could be inside that incredible landscape.
And yet there's still people out there who say dinosaurs never existed. Why are they teaching y'all that? Why are they telling y'all that? And I'm like, huh? All of this stuff we're finding. Like, even this year, it's like everything we keep finding points to that time. I'm sorry, y'all, but I just heard somebody say that the other night, and it bothered me. So
now it's time for the sweet topic. This is the Grand Canyon discovery that terrifies the whole world. Because nobody knows who carved it, but buried near the bottom of the canyon's chasm, explorers found a peculiar rock formation that seems to resemble that of a giant hand. Because of how much like a hand it looks, there's no way this is naturally occurring. Somebody put it there, but the question is who and why. Based on the condition it's in, we have to assume it's 100 years old or more. But what do you think? As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below using the hashtag #SweetTopic. Number 19, the Great Unconformity. One of the craziest things that's been discovered in the Grand Canyon is actually not there at all. Mysterious. This is the thing that is known as the Great Unconformity, a feature of the erosion of the rock in the Grand Canyon, in which there's evidence of the geological change in the area over a long period of time. The unconformity is that there is actually a massive part of the geologic record that is missing in the Grand Canyon, about 1 billion years worth to be precise. So how does it happen? Well, how can 1 billion years worth of rock layers just be missing? There are a couple of different theories about this, but the main one would suggest that since the part that is not there is the surface between the Tapiat sandstone and the metamorphic rocks of the Granite Gorge, it is a period of time in history of the world known as the Snowball Earth. This is a time when almost the entire planet was covered in ice during a period of glaciation, and the places on Earth where the Great Unconformity exists, like in the Grand Canyon, were affected by the Snowball Earth. With glaciers move, they tend to erode sediment and drag it away from any underlying rock, which could explain how so much rock had shifted and is no longer present where it would otherwise be expected to be. This is also possible that the rocks simply didn't form during that period in these areas, but it's not possible at present to determine exactly how or why this happened. Number 18, Cave of the Domes. There is only one official cave that is open to the public in the Grand Canyon, and it's actually a network of
I wonder why that is. Only one cave out of all of that that's around there, and possibly that's there. One is only open to the public. I wonder why.
Underground caves, and is super interesting to anyone who is into hiking and poking around in dark holes.
Main entrance, the main entrance.
It's a hike down to the cave system of the Cave of the Domes near the area of Horseshoe Mesa at the end of Grandview Trail, and not only is the cave itself kind of cool, a hike there takes you away from the more busy village area and into a part of the Grand Canyon with yet more spectacular views. There is an old miner's cave with limestone domes that have been gradually eroded over the millions of years. The cave is dry and dark and eerily quiet, and the signatures scratched into the cave wall add a nice spooky element. These are actually just the markings of visitors from the 1900s. Nowadays, you're encouraged to write your own in a visitor's book instead.
Your last chance to disappear until summer and come back unrecognizable. Start the chair Tai Chi flow for beginners.
Number 17, nautiloid fossils. This next old rock is a coiled nautiloid fossil that was discovered in the Kaibab Formation in the Grand Canyon. Finding a sea creature inland like this might seem a bit weird, but the area has changed somewhat in the 270 million years since the creature was alive. The area that the fossil was discovered in is covered in limestone that was created during an era when the Grand Canyon was actually covered by a shallow sea. This creature was a long ago relative of modern-day cephalopods like squid, and it would have lived on the seafloor and used its tentacles to catch prey. Apparently, this is one that is known as a holotype specimen, meaning that it was actually used to identify and describe a new species called something I can't begin to pronounce. Number 16, the split twig figurines. All the way back in 1933, a bunch of discoveries were made in various caves across the Grand Canyon. These are split twig figurines, and they are really, really, really old. Usually crafted from a single twig that has been split, hence the name, these shapes are often willow sticks that are bent and folded into intricate shapes to make the figures of animals. There are several different designs that have been found all throughout the Grand Canyon, but the most typical are those that are shaped like deer or bighorn sheep. Occasionally, there are pieces that have been shaped to resemble spears. These figures were found in 15 different caves across the region and have been dated to 2,000 to 4,000 years ago. These split twig figurines have been found in many places across the western states of America. There are variations in the styles of wrapping and folding that are used, and it appears from radiocarbon dating that they were made in many places across the region for at least 1,700 years. They offer a look at the people who lived in the area in the past and some of the ways that they lived. Were these toys, or perhaps they were pieces of art or used for religious purposes? What do you think? Go ahead and have all your opinions in the comments section down below, because I know that you want to. Number 15, uranium mine. If you've not yet felt even remotely terrified by the stuff that I've shown you from the Grand Canyon discoveries, then this next thing may actually be the one that gives you a mild sense of concern. This is the really alarming trend in uranium mining in a region that is not only the most extraordinary geological landscape possible, but is also home to at least 11 Native American tribes and is a literal national park. Yes, mining for uranium, that is the extremely deadly radioactive junk used in nuclear power production and nuclear weapons, is being done around the outside of the park boundaries. But the thing with uranium and its pollution is that it doesn't really care about boundaries when it's leaking into the earth, or contaminating the water supply, or causing untold long-term damage to the natural environment. Not to mention the people and the animals that live there. The Grand Canyon National Park Service is working to keep uranium mining out of the park itself, You would think that this place at least would have a degree of protection from this kind of stuff, but the almighty dollar and its associated greed knows no bounds. Uranium mining near the Grand Canyon began in the 1950s in a place known as Orphan Mine. This is just 2 miles from the Grand Canyon Village, and there have been no fewer than 8 uranium mines all around the Grand Canyon National Park. One, which is in operation today, is threatening the springs inside the Grand Canyon with contamination.
It's like they don't understand how important these places are to our planet, bro. Are you serious? Like, greed is gonna destroy this country, man. I keep saying that. And we keep getting showed example after example after example of how money just has a total disregard for this planet. Like, I just don't understand it. They doing it with the Amazon. Here it is with the Grand Canyon. And it's just, I don't understand.
Huge efforts are in place to try and protect this region from the devastating impact of uranium mining. There's now a law that prevents new mining claims from being staked, but mines that already have valid existing rights are allowed to continue. It is a risky business, but hopefully the continued efforts for protection will eventually make uranium mining illegal across the whole region.
Stop canyon mine. Defend the sacred. Water is life. Like, come on, man.
Number 14, Grand Canyon Cavern Hotel. A stay at the Grand Canyon Cavern Hotel in Arizona is unlike any other boring box-shaped hotel room on Earth. This place has a suite, which it claims is the largest, deepest, darkest, quietest motel in the entire world. That's quite the claim, but they are probably right. This hotel room is over 65 million years old and located at 220 feet below the surface of the Earth. This is the largest dry cavern in the United States, and if you book this particular room, you'll have it all to yourself.
I'll go visit, but stay overnight, it just don't look too comforting to me. I probably wouldn't get a good night's sleep in here. Go visit it, yeah, take pictures, and then leave.
The caverns were formed 65 million years ago from the limestone, when the Grand Canyon was the site of an ancient sea that cut across North America. This place was a highlight to stop on old Route 66 and was designed to be a tourist destination. They run tours of the underground cavern as well as hotel rooms and the unique opportunity to spend the night in the cave itself. But what do you think? Would you like to sleep in a cave? Or would it all be just a little bit too spooky? Go ahead and get involved in the comments section down below. Number 13, Horseshoe Canyon Petroglyphs. Horseshoe Canyon is actually in an area to the west of Green River and the north of Canyonlands National Park in Utah. So, not the Grand Canyon, but, never mind. It's still interesting anyway. These are the petroglyphs and pictographs of Horseshoe Canyon. In fact, this type of rock art is so well known in the area that it has its own category. It's known as Barrier Canyon-style rock art. These petroglyphs, that is the art that's made on the surface of a rock by removing layers of scratching and picking and otherwise carving it.
Watch what nuts do to our body. A walnut is really good for you. It's loaded with omega-3 fats and with fiber. But right next to it, cashew. Cashew is not a nut. I know cashews are delicious, but your body doesn't think so. Pistachios are good for you. They're the highest melatonin-containing compound, one of 2 antioxidants in your mitochondria. Here's a trick. Always get pistachios in the shell.
Trail mix.
If you want your own trail mix, you could use walnuts, macadamia nuts, pistachios, add some chunks of dark chocolate, and you get a perfect trail mix.
Apples.
The average apple in a grocery store is over a year old.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, put the apple on. Kiwi.
It's really one of the best fruits you can eat. It's got loads of soluble fiber. Now here's the deal. Eat the peel. It's got all the good stuff. Blueberries. When I was a kid, blueberries were little bitty tiny things. And now they've been hybridized to basically be the size of grapes. So don't get carried away with modern blueberries. They've mostly been bred for sugar content.
Turkey bacon?
Why anybody would be eating turkey bacon is beyond my imagination. The turkey was fed corn and soybeans, so it's inflammatory bomb. End of story.
Portobello mushrooms?
So portobello mushrooms are rich sources of prebiotic fiber. And these fibers feed friendly bacteria the foods they want. The more mushrooms that you get into your diet, the more your friendly bacteria actually tell you you're not hungry.
Acai berries?
So acai berries are actually prebiotic, or one of the best ways to improve mitochondrial health and mitochondrial function. And acai bowls may be one of the worst foods you can eat, because they're quite frankly mostly sugar.
Which is better for weight loss, bottled water or tap water?
Neither. People are told you gotta drink a lot of water. There's no human studies that show that that's a good idea. Water dilutes out our electrolytes like sodium and chloride. And sodium and chloride are essential for muscles to actually contract. In fact, one of the top reasons marathon runners collapse isn't dehydration. It's drinking too much water without electrolytes. So on the day-to-day, just drink enough water to not be thirsty. Number 2, coffee and tea dehydrate you. This is also a myth. Their water content will keep you hydrated, and they can absolutely count towards your daily intake. Number 3,
A study out of China to healthy volunteers, and they put them on a 14-day water fast where they got nothing but water, with one exception. One group got 100 calories per day of prebiotic fiber. The folks who got the prebiotic fiber had no hunger even with a 14-day water fast. Why? These guys were feeding their bacteria. The bacteria, in turn, sent GLP signals to the brain saying, hey, we're full. Our bacteria are perfectly capable of making that. That's how we discovered this hormone. So one of the keys for weight loss is you want to feed bacteria. It's remarkable how much this works. A lot of my patients are just addicted to it.
does drinking water make you lose weight or gain it? The answer is pretty shocking. It turns out much of the water.
There have been humans in Horseshoe Canyon for as far back as 9000 BC. This is when Paleo-Indians were known to have hunted large mammals in the area. There is evidence that early people here mastodons and mammoths across the southwest region. It's believed that Native American people lived in the canyon until about 1300 AD. The main area in which there are petroglyphs is the part of the canyon known as the Great Gallery. Here the images are well preserved and numerous. The panel of art is about 200 feet long and 15 feet high, and the art mostly depicts human-shaped figures that are life-sized and up to 7 feet tall. Number 12. Shasta ground sloth. A supersized sloth may not sound like the most terrifying of animals. I mean, these things are the cute and sleepy creatures that are often drawn as sweet little illustrations on greeting cards and baby clothing, aren't they? Well, the Megatherium was much less cute of a cartoon and more of a colossal carnivore. So put what you think you know about sloths to the side for a moment. Back around 5 million years ago, there was a very particular type of ground sloth that hung around in South America. These were up to 10 times the size of today's sloths, and they could weigh up to 4 tons. Yes, that's right, these things were elephant-sized. They also walked on their hind legs like people do, and this little fact makes it the largest upright walking bipedal mammal that has ever lived. Although not strict carnivores, the general shape and structure of the Megatherium would suggest that they likely hunted other animals as well as gathering food from their habitats. Although some extinct ground sloths grew as big as elephants, there's evidence of some slightly smaller ground sloths that inhabited the Grand Canyon. These were the Shasta ground sloths that lived there during the last ice age. The Grand Canyon was cooler and wetter than it is nowadays, and it was full of vegetation, which would have been a good thing for such a massive herbivore. Skulls of these creatures have been discovered in caves, and there were also pieces of fur and even sloth poo that is still stinky today. The cave is dry and kept at a stable temperature, which allowed for these things to stay remarkably well preserved for as long as 11,000 years. Weird! Number 11. Pseudoscorpions. Between 2005 and 2007, researchers were studying the stuff in a cave in the northern part of the Grand Canyon when they happened upon a couple of scorpion-type creatures that they thought might be brand new, or at least undocumented until that time. They took a further 7 years of rigorous study to be able to fully determine that they were indeed a new species, but they were not scorpions in the true sense. They were actually pseudo-scorpions, because although they did look like scorpions, they did not have the tail with the venomous stinger that characterizes those species. Instead, these cave-dwelling creatures have their poisonous stinging parts in their pinchers. They're also adapted to the darkness to such an extent that they don't have eyes.
This is how to tell if your olive oil is fake.
You've been using olive oil wrong your whole life, and it's costing your health.
My grandkids have been telling me I'm aging in reverse. This is my secret.
Number 3, canola oil. If you can find organic canola oil, then it's actually a very good oil. The problem with canola oil is most canola oil in the United States is genetically modified. Number 2, coconut oil. Coconut oil has a very high smoke point. So yes, you can absolutely use it. Unfortunately, coconut oil has only about 1/10 of the polyphenols of olive oil. Crisco was actually developed as a candle wax replacement. Crisco is an abbreviation for crystallized cottonseed oil. Cottonseed was never used on food before. In fact, it was an industrial solvent, among other things. During World War II, Procter & Gamble realized that you could put food coloring and tell people it was just like butter. They gave generous grants to the American Heart Association for promoting Crisco as a heart-healthy alternative to butter and lard. So, believe it or not, the best oil for cooking is olive oil. But not all olive oils are created equal. Have some olive oil before your bed, and your sleeping partner will love you for it.
Somebody told me olive oil could be used as shaving cream.
Shaving cream? Yep. Swap out that spray can and slather on some olive oil instead. It can actually be really useful for moisturizing your skin and helping it look bright and fresh.
Someone commented, does olive oil actually help prevent snoring?
Snoring? Fact. It turns out that olive oil lubricates your respiratory passages so that vibration doesn't happen.
Can it help with my teeth?
Whiter looking teeth? Yes. Extra virgin olive oil can help contribute to the look of whiter teeth because it can bind to plaque and tartar and then help remove debris. But before you pull that bottle from the kitchen, there are 3 important things about store-bought olive oil that you should know.
So the other day I saw this video by this famous heart surgeon saying how incredible olive oil is for you. So I just turned 40 and I made a promise to my wife to be healthier. So I said, a spoonful of olive oil a day, this I can do. It's been a month since I started and I literally feel no different. I still have the joint discomfort, the brain fog, and the dad bod. What gives? Honestly, it pisses me off. Now I'm not normally the one to do this, but I actually sent out an email to that doctor. I said, hey,
Look how small they are, bro. They're like you be walking, exploring, taking pictures, and one shoot up your pants leg and bite you on the leg or something like that. That's why I'm looking at the size of them, right? So I can see now if I ever venture to or visit the Grand Canyon, I'm walking around, I'm looking at the ground all over the place, bro, because something like this can slide right up your leg.
It's creepy and still dangerous even if they are tiny. They only measure about 0.12 inches in length, and even so, you wouldn't want to step on one in a dark cave, now would you? Number 10, the Chiricahua leopard frog. This frog species is known for its distinctive pattern of spots, which is how it got the leopard part of its name. Well, duh. These frogs can be found all across the southwest of the United States, which includes the Grand Canyon, and it was first discovered in the Chiricahua Mountains of Arizona back in the late 1800s. These days, this species is considered to be vulnerable to extinction, as its water supplies are becoming more scarce and droughts are becoming more common. Its habitat is threatened, and there is a type of fungus that is destroying its natural environment in ponds and springs and other freshwater spaces. In fact, this frog, although once common across the region, is now missing from 80% of its previously known habitats. Well, the small green spotty frog is not what should scare us. The lack of it where it once thrived is, however, a terrifying prospect for the future of all life on Earth. Number 9, the Supai Village. One of the most remote communities in the whole of the United States, Super Village is inside of the Havasupai Indian Reservation in the Grand Canyon of Arizona. This tiny Native American community can only be reached by foot, horseback, or perhaps a helicopter. There are around 200 people that are living in the village, which is the capital of Havasupai Indian Reservation. The landscape in the village and the surrounding area is staggeringly beautiful. It has waterfalls and blue pools, as well as those remarkable formations of red rock. Although remote, there are opportunities for tourists to visit the village. They can take a mule ride or a trek out there, and it's possible to stay overnight and enjoy the extraordinary landscape and local culture.
Hey, the mailman's coming behind me.
Nearby, there are also famous places like Mooney Falls and Havasu Falls. Number 8, E. coli. E. coli are bacteria that are found in the environment, in foods, and in the intestines of people and animals. Ew. These are actually a big group of bacteria, and most of them won't really do all that much harm. There are some that are super dangerous though, and some cause urinary tract infections, while others can cause pneumonia or other respiratory illnesses, and many others will give you a dose of the runs or even worse. So for the most part, people will generally want to avoid consuming anything that has been contaminated with E. coli, because it can make you sick, and sometimes it can make you very, very
Push that
sick.
like button. Show
A
me
news
some
report
love.
from back in August of 2023 revealed that E. coli bacteria had been found in water at the bottom of the canyon close to Phantom Ranch. That is the only lodging located in the bottom of the canyon. I mean, nobody wants to find E. coli anywhere, but call me old-fashioned. Foods and in the intestines of people and animals. Ew. These are actually a big group of bacteria, and most of them won't. There are around 200 people that are living in the village, which is the capital of Havasupai Indian Reservation. The landscape in the village and the surrounding area is staggeringly beautiful. It has waterfalls and blue pools, as well as those remarkable formations of red rock. Although remote, there are opportunities for tourists to visit the village. They can take a mule ride or a trek out there, and it's possible to stay overnight and enjoy the extraordinary landscape and local culture.
Hey, the mailman's coming behind me.
Nearby, there are also famous places like Mooney Falls and Havasu Falls. Number 8, E. coli. E. coli are bacteria that are found in the environment, in foods, and in the intestines of people and animals. Ew. These are actually a big group of bacteria, and most of them won't really do all that much harm. There are some that are super dangerous though, and some cause urinary tract infections, while others can cause pneumonia or other respiratory illnesses, and many others will give you a dose of the runs or even worse. So for the most part, people will generally want to avoid consuming anything that has been contaminated with E. coli, because it can make you sick, and sometimes it can make you very, very sick. A news report from back in August of 2023 revealed that E. coli bacteria had been found in water at the bottom of the canyon close to Phantom Ranch. That is the only lodging located in the bottom of the canyon. I mean, nobody wants to find E. coli anywhere, but call me old-fashioned, it seems that you probably shouldn't be going around guzzling the water that you find on the ground anywhere, even in the Grand Canyon. So, boil any water that you scoop out of a puddle or whatever.
Planning to publish your book? You could reach 3 billion more readers. If you've written a book and you're thinking about publishing it, you have to watch this video. Hi, I'm Sarah from Spines, the fastest growing publishing platform in the United States. If you want to give your book the best shot at success, there are...
Likely as not, the presence of E. coli in water also indicates the presence of poop in that water, so you know. Number 7. Salamander-like footprints. The oldest fossils to have been found in the Grand Canyon are between 1,200 million years old and 740 million years old. These are called stromatolites that are created in the limestone by photosynthesizing bacteria that is known as cyanobacteria. But there are also a lot of other fossils that show the progression of evolution of life on Earth through millions and millions of years in this extraordinary part of the planet. The Coconino sandstone across the canyon was made when wind across the sand dunes about 275 million years ago deposited the sand and the rock formation began. These layers of rock now have some of the most densely fossil-filled areas. There are lizard-like salamander sorts of footprints, for example, and for some, these have given creationists a stiffy. They love to argue that they know all about science and will gleefully poke an oar into stuff that they poo-poo, like the formation of rocks over millions of years if they can say that it was because of Noah and the flood. So, inexplicably, they reckon that these footprints could have only happened after the flood, when the sand would have been wet. Because there is no other way to moisten sand other than the means of a biblical flood. It couldn't possibly be that the Grand Canyon area was once different and had an inland sea, and that the rocks were not yet formed. These footprints, therefore, could not have been made 270 million years ago. It must have only happened 6,000 years ago. Oh, and they walked here really quickly after they got off the ark from Turkey. Because, you know, all life that walked on the land was wiped out, except that those that Noah saved in the ark. So it all seems completely reasonable now, doesn't it? I mean, who really needs science anyways? Number 6. American cheetah bones. During the last ice age, the Grand Canyon was stuffed full of creatures. The area was relatively mild in the weather department, and as such, there was a lush green area that was full of plant life in order to attract the herbivores. And what with all the herbivores wandering about there were also plenty of predators on the lookout for their next meal as well. One such predatory species was the now extinct American cheetah. These big cats actually went extinct at the end of the Pleistocene era. A discovery in the caves of the Grand Canyon was made by scientists who had been revisiting some bones that had previously been labeled as belonging to mountain lions. It turned out that these bones were actually those of American cheetah, and rather than them having expired in the caves, it seems they likely met their maker elsewhere, and their old bones were dragged into the caves by other animals who had scavenged them. How nice! Number 5. Vishnu Temple. This is a 7,533-foot elevation summit in Grand Canyon National Park in Arizona, named somewhat incongruously for the Hindu deity Vishnu, the redeemer of the universe. It was given its moniker by a man named Clarence Dutton in 1880. This was the beginning of the naming of mountains in the Grand Canyon after mythological gods, and the mountain was named thus as Dutton said that he thought it looked like the shape of a pagoda. It still seems incongruous, but alright. The summit is made of the Permian Coconino sandstone that we've already seen in a bunch today, and Kabab limestone caprock. Depending on how you look at it, it could appear like a natural pyramid or perhaps even a pagoda, if you especially wanted it to be. But what do you think? What do you reckon a good name for this would have been? Go on and let me know your opinions in the comment section down below, if you will. Number 4. The Coconino Sandstone. Well, it's turned up repeatedly in one way or another throughout today's list, so let's give this rock its very own section, shall we? The Coconino Sandstone is the formation of rock that is named after Coconino County in Arizona, which is where it's situated. The geological formation actually spreads all the way from the Colorado Plateau across Arizona, the northwest of Colorado, and Utah and Nevada. This type of rock can be seen vividly inside the Grand Canyon, where it appears as a white cliff-forming layer in the rock. It can vary in thickness throughout the area because of other variations in the features of the geology. For instance, sand, this is what it looks like in sand. For example, it appears at only 65 feet thick at the western part of the Grand Canyon, but it is